Welcome back, ladies and gents, to our live coverage here of the DreamHack Masters Stockholm qualifiers with myself, Vince, and Blair. I'm going to be taking you through the second best of three. It's a lower bracket, as both these teams did lose in their opening games, and it's going to be Space Soldiers up against Virtus.pro. First map, Inferno. Blair, how are you doing, man? Have you recovered yet from that first best of three?
I need like a big jug of coffee, but yeah, I think I'm fine now. I can feel the sugar rush coming on, and it's going to be a different map. We're seeing a very different map from what we saw in the previous best of three, right? So it was Dust 2, it was Nuke, and it was Mirage. Now it's going to be Inferno, followed by Train, and if required, I think it's going to go down to Dust 2. But for now, it's going to be VP winning the knife round, opting to start on the CT side. Bear in mind, loser of this matchup will be knocked out of the close qualifiers, while the winner will move on to the lower brackets. And Space Soldiers, a lot of utility, but aggression coming out from the CTs is going to be Bialy opening things up, but a quick trade. And Calyx finding Morels means that a man advantage has been gained by Space Soldiers. Although, look at aggression from Mihu and Pasha. They just pushed in towards T-Slope.
Pasha has been spotted by Major, who's playing quite passive, still lands the headshot all the same. A 3-on-3 with a new look VP with Morels instead of Snacks, of course. But Space Soldiers going to push straight to the A site, get the bomb down instantly before the CTs can afford to rotate round. Neo is caught in the alcove just outside of Library, and there comes Mihu with his one tap onto Calyx. Neo in the meanwhile is going to land one of his own onto Engine, and although it was looking pretty good, now it's on Xanteris. He is very much good enough to clutch this round, but he's going to get caught from the side, and Pasha, the aggressor down mid, is there to pick up the final pieces. VP will claim the first round.
It's a great stuff from Neo, just trying to stay alive for as long as possible, and just waiting for Mihu to get the flank in from mid, getting the frag, winning the round. Very aggressive setup coming out from VP there. They just pushed on mid, and the two players, it was Pasha and I think it was Mihu, just pushing Morels, I believe it was, pushing them banana as well. So aggressive play. Space Soldiers though to get the bomb down, so would expect to see the full eco, maybe a couple of pistols. There we go, P250 CZ, big purchase by Engine and by Xanteris. And for VP though, a couple of MP7s and MP9. The MP7 kind of coming back into vogue here.
Yeah, I personally love it. I prefer it to the UMP. I just feel way more comfortable when it comes to the spray pattern. You obviously have the extra bullets too. And additionally, it did get slightly buffed with a $200 decrease in how much it costs. So in one of the previous patches pretty recently. So I think you're going to see quite a few more people at least give it a try and flirt with the idea of keeping it longer term. And it's very, very good against ecos like this. More rapidly disintegrate oncoming terrorists. The Space Soldiers, I'm sure, are about to find out. Courtesy of Neo, plenty of players up, and 3 players will fall, padding his stats, padding his bank account. And although Major will come through with his Glock and pick up the MP7, it doesn't matter a great deal to VP. They're 2-0 in the lead.
That's a great round. Neo just getting that money. And for Space Soldiers, just one frag, but they're not going to be too phased by that. They will go for the buy. AK's coming out, armor. And all right, some utility. 3 smokes, a Molotov, nade, a handful of flashbangs to work with. And for BP, they're just going to be sticking around with those SMGs. All the Neo will upgrade to the M4. It's kind of almost like a bonus round here, but they would, of course, be looking to play a little bit more aggressive to try and use those SMGs to kind of pressurize the T's. But Calyx finds Pasha. That's actually the M4 taken out of the equation. I would assume that Bialy Bialy would be swapping out that MP7, but no, both the players with SMGs are playing from the A bomb set, so that means that M4 is kind of lost at the moment.
Which is a pretty integral part of VP's defense, as you say, because they came through with 2 SMGs. They're not going to need to trade off, and Bialy has picked it up now, trading out the MP7. Still an MP9 for Morels, decent up close, but a lot of those bullets will be absorbed by the armor. And there you have it. You just saw it firsthand. Probably would have had a frag if he had an M4 in that position, but instead, Paz is going to drill him in the head, giving Space Soldiers a 2-player advantage. And there's actually no grenades left for VP either. They can't stall the push any longer.
Meaning, Neo has to walk up mid. Neo, in the meantime, he's being pressurized here, but then one smoke he had delaying them for a few seconds. Paz, however, finds both the frags towards A. They know there's no one remaining. The A bomb, so the immediate pivot is going to take place. The C4 on the back of Engine. making his way towards the A bomb side, while the rest of them are going in for the hunt. They're not going to allow Neo to escape here. He's going to find one more kill, but Calyx there for the immediate trade. Great run for Space Soldiers. They keep 3 players alive as well. For VP, though, they did lose a couple of players in that anti-eco round, so the money is not that great. Morels and Mihu can buy for themselves. The rest of them, however, below $4,000. So it could just be pistols coming out here, or maybe not. They're going to be going for the buy. Pasha with the AWP. M4, FAMAS, MP7, CZ. Morels has absolutely nothing to work with. I think he dropped that off with Pasha, so this is going to be a very horrendous start indeed. Xantares finds Pasha. That's the op taken out.
I just don't get that, man. Like, maybe with a lack of guns, you feel like you are pressured to peek there, but you're peeking out in the open with no support. It's a position that a lot of teams will nade heavily, especially in rounds like this. And if not, they're going to have AK-47s pointed at you. Like, even if he lands a shot, he's probably dead afterwards, and a 1-for-1 trade would not be good enough with their strongest weapon. So across the board, I just don't really get it, man.
Absolutely. And what I'd like to see Space Soldiers do here is they have control of mid. They haven't really thrown away that AWP. I think it's still somewhere around mid. Yes, it is indeed. And Bialy trying to flash his way in, trying to get a kill, but Major is not missing his shots. So 1 by 1. VP, the players are falling, and now there's just 1 player towards the B bomb side. It's going to be Neo, is going to be instrumental here. If you can get that kill onto the player, oh, never mind, Major. Timing doesn't quite work out for Neo, and it's all going to be on Mihu. 1v3 in that bomb side all alone. Make that a 1v5, and the second they get the kill into Morels, it's going to be the immediate rotation for the C4. He's going to be making his way towards A. He's going to be left alone, and Paz, immediate headshot. Flawless round for Space Soldiers.
Started off with a gift wrap kill by Pasha and ended with a solid few entry frags with the AK-47s. VP now have no funds to use at all. And this is more like, I think, what we expected to see here, Black. And that was Space Soldiers having a pretty convincing performance. VP don't even have an upgraded pistol, actually. It's all stock pistols. 0 investment into this round. And Space Soldiers, if they even lost a player, I think they'd be disappointed.
Absolutely. And they're just, right now, you can see, I think they're taking a leaf out of Existence's book. Just talking things through, not really holding angles as such, right? Just trying to waste some time, talk things through. It's still early days. Kind of have a format stack to say, but just USPs and the way Space Soldiers are hitting the shots right now. I don't think they're going to really have any issues here. It is going to be an A hit coming out. 4 players there, but like I mentioned, Vince, just stock pistols against AK-47s. They require a miracle.
They sure do, or an epic fail by Space Soldiers. I don't think either's going to happen. Pasha flicked onto the head from Paz. And they actually do get a couple kills. Bialy and Morels both. Fair enough. That's way more than I thought they'd get out of this round. But in terms of whether they'll win or not, that's a whole different question. Should be mentioned, though, that Morels, as a result of those 2 kills, has got an AWP. This would be a great takeout. I mean, this is honestly like the dream, really.
Absolutely. I mean, 5 USPs, or rather P2K in the mix, and 2 kills already. Make that 3. And if you can save this off, this is going to be a very, very good round for VP indeed. And, well, Engine will deny the save. Morels could have probably gone for... Yeah, he could have just saved it. He could have just saved it. Held the angle. It was a 1v2 that had to run after him to get the op, to take the op away from him. And so, yeah, that op would have been really handy in the hands of Pasha. But, yeah, Morels making a little bit of a mistake there.
So many of these decisions need to come down to risk versus reward. Is the risk worth the reward? If you peek in and get a kill with the AWP there at the end, is it going to absolutely wreck Space Soldiers? No. You can see Paz only has 10k. Even if he gets another kill, that's an extra dropped AK-47. What's the risk, though? You lose an AWP that would have been so integral to this round, and now they don't have it. And for no gain. It just doesn't compute to me. I don't understand that decision.
Absolutely. And this is something which you see very often when, like, at least in my case, right, I do cast quite a lot of Asian CS and some of the more tier 3 scenes altogether. And you see this quite often. And I kind of take it for granted. I'll be like, yeah, you know, these guys still are kind of, you know, a little green and whatnot. But when you see teams of this caliber, all right, VP's not exactly the team they were once upon a time, but this is, you know, still, it's a close qualifier for DreamHack Masters, right? You'd expect to see the small little things shouldn't be an issue, but yeah, you hate to see it. But what you'd love to see is Mihu getting the opening kill for a VP. So Xantares, the danger man, taken out early on. However, Space Soldiers are sending feelers out towards the A bomb side, where it is a pretty aggressive crossfire being set up here by VP.
think the players in the right positions, but again, they are lacking utility. 35 seconds. Can the Turkish side breach A once more? Pasha in the alcove will say no with one. Not going to be able to get a second. That could be good enough, though. Now it's down to Bjarli. If he can just get himself a kill, it's really going to alleviate the pressure. Oh, the spray is just not on point. Finally gets it with the very last bullets. Only 15 seconds, that could be good enough. Morels comes to the rescue with a 2K. The newest player into the squad, although whether it's permanent or not is yet to be seen, as Snacks's future is very much a question mark. But VP have claimed their third round.
Yeah, great round as well, but a little sloppy from Space Soldiers the way they took mid. They really didn't check the cubby, and Pasha getting a free kill. They didn't even toss in the Molotov. They were almost just convinced there's no one playing there, which is a big, a big no-no. You don't do that. You either use a Molotov or double nade it, or at least try and clear it out before you just ignore that angle. So Pasha getting the free kill, kind of, being the start of the domino effect. But still, Space Soldiers can go for a buy, a very comfortable buy, in fact. AKs and again full utility. VP though, they keep 3 players alive. They salvage 3 rifles into this round, and now Space Soldiers mixing it up. Looks like they're going to be going for this B hit. All 5 players gathered up right outside, and it's going to be Neo and Mihu to hold the line.
Feeling and probing onto the site is Major. Not slowing down, straight in there with smokes and flashes alongside it. Need to be careful not getting each other's way, but it's firmly gone in the direction of Space Soldiers. Pasha though with a double spray through the smoke. Papa on point. And now the bomb will get planted. 3-on-3 retake. There's a plethora of nades for VP to use though. 2 mollies, 2 nades, and a smoke. Let's see if they can get it done.
As long as Calyx can delay Morels towards Banana, Space Soldiers have a very good chance of just winning this round easily. But if Calyx gets taken down, now that's going to be a problem. Morels is taking the fight. He's going to win the duel. Now this retake is looking very, very possible. Indeed, Morels finds a double kill. It's all in Major. 1v3. And like you said, they have so much utility. A double Molotov. Major's going to get pushed out, and Morels picking up a huge triple kill on the retake. At that, I don't know how they lost that round. It was a 5v3, and they had control of the bomb. So Pasha 2 kills through the smoke, and Morels winning a very crucial duel towards Banana, making it happen.
Yeah, without Pasha's double spray through the smoke, that round was done. So he has to take a lot of the credit for that one. He made a couple of questionable decisions already in this game, but that was solid. So well played. And Space Soldiers go in for a force. It's going to include a MAC-10 for Major, 3 AKs and a Desert Eagle. In the hands of Zontaras, though, it's basically an AK or an AWP. So we'll have to see if they can get that in use. But he's going to take a bit of damage. Negligible at best, though, only 3. So he's good to roll forward. Space Soldiers occupying second mid, moving towards the apps, where VP have been pretty passive so far. Morels is playing quad, but we haven't really seen anyone go into apps for VP. So I'm curious if that will change as time goes on.
Indeed, they've been playing this setup at least a couple of times. It's been pretty hit or miss as well. Morels and Pasha with this crossfire. And Pasha, and 4 in hand, not with his favorite weaponry. Space Soldiers setting up the smokes. Pasha's going to use up that Molotov early on, and it's going to be a lot of pressure towards the balcony. They're going to just keep jumping out, and just 1 frag going the way of VP in the defense. That was very shoddy indeed.
Especially when you consider the vast difference in firepower. VP had the superior firepower. They had full assault rifles. They had pretty much everything they could ask for, whereas Space Soldiers were coming through with a MAC-10 and a Deagle. So to get that smashed with firepower that is considerably inferior is going to be a collective worry for VP and their fans. And this has just been sort of an extension of what we've seen over the past months and, well, 6+ months, even longer than that, is VP's downward spiral, where they previously would have had these rounds pretty much every day of the week. Now it's a coin flip. You just never know what to expect with these guys.
Indeed. And the worst part was they all just died from the T's funneling out from apartments. It wasn't like they were getting pressurized towards Arch or whatnot. They just were kind of caught out in the open, and 2 rifles saved. Means they can go for a couple of drops here and there. Force Pasha will have to make do with the CZ-75. FAMAS in the mix as well. But Space Soldiers scores a tie right now. Still early days. And I do believe this map pick is from Space Soldiers, I think. Let me just take a quick look there.
I will check for you. Yes, Space Soldiers picked Inferno.
All right, so the next one's going to be Train, one where,
Yep.
to be honest, right, once upon a time, VP and Train were a deadly force indeed, but those times are long gone.
And so far, you couldn't even blame this on Morels. You know, he's top fragging. He's looked pretty good. He's had some very impactful kills. In the shop window, maybe, if he's not going to be a permanent feature of VP, it's a chance to show the world what he's capable of doing. And so far, so good.
I mean, for the longest time, the only Polish team of note was VP, right? For such a long time. Now we have AGO stepping up. We have a couple of other teams as well, right below AGO. Yeah, this could be a very good, opportunity for him to showcase what he has here. Meanwhile, again, an A hit coming out. They haven't really used up a lot of the utilities. They have a lot remaining. Just 46 seconds on the clock. For the VP side, though, 4 players stacked towards this A bomb site. They have one smoke on Morels. He's debating whether to deploy it now or wait for a bit. Instead, it's going to be Space Soldiers smoking off towards the archway. And now they're heading towards B. This is a very smart call. The rotation still hasn't taken place yet. Now Neo's going to be heading towards B bomb site. But Mihu, how long can he hold forward? He's got no utility whatsoever. He's just going to hold towards the coffins area. And Molotov comes up, tries to peek out, goes to the white peak, spots a couple of players, not able to find anything. Pasha does find Major in the meantime towards mid. But Mihu, 4 players staring down straight at him. And Neo, tiny gap for him to shoot. But the player will cross and over. It's going to be Engine getting the bomb down. And Zantares catches Neo while trying to push through the smoke. That's just everything falling apart there.
Yeah, the slight silver lining is that VP are looking like they can scamper away with 2 M4s, nearly $10,000 of equipment value, which can be used in the next round. But of course, it is going to be the loss of this round. And with Space Soldiers now taking a lead, I don't think we'll see a huge amount bought behind these 2 guns. I mean, Pasha does have a CZ he could drop as his sidearm to somebody else. But yeah, VP haven't really been able to get it going. 2 of their 4 rounds have been off the back of the pistol. Space Soldiers now looking to shift through the gears. Paz has been pretty good so far as well. He wasn't necessarily one of the better performing players in the previous best of 3 that we casted. That was mainly the Zantares show, but it's good to see him getting in the thick of the action now.
Absolutely. It was basically Zantares and Major doing the brunt of the heavy lifting. Although Engine had his moments. He was the Zipex or Zipnix of that particular series. Although Optic were able to close that one out. So 5-4. And for VP, they're not going to force this time around, so some sanity will prevail. They will have those 2 M4s. It's going to be Pasha and Bialy. And Bialy, not too sure what he's doing out there. Such a wide peak from him, so at least the M4 will be salvaged. Miu's going to pick it up. In the meantime, the other M4 has been taken down. Major's going to find Pasha, so even despite saving his 2 rifles, Vince, like nothing is going the way of the Poles.
Yeah, it's been a pretty rough watch, and I think 4 to 6 as you're expecting it to end up. It doesn't look that bad, but again, you have to be contextual with how this game's been going so far. Nice kill by Mihu, but it's instantly traded by Engine. And Morels is going to get the drop and the positional advantage, but the CZ is not going to be his friend. And he misses out on that chance to get sprayed down by Major. Oh, man. That's just rough to watch. There's not much you can say about it, really. VP 6-4 behind.
That was like, you'd expect them to at least get 1 kill with those rifles early on, right? But Bialy, I'm not too sure why he went for that peek. That was such a shoddy peek out in the open. 2 players just staring at him. No immediate trades taking place as well. So even despite saving his 2 guns, in the end, nothing really comes out of it. And now it's going to be another buy. Third round loss bonus means it's not that much to work with. So you have the MD7 in the hands of Neo, sparse utility. And we all know in a map like Inferno, you want to have as much utility as you can as the CD side. I'm trying to delay this tease for a long while. But Space Soldiers, look at the pace from them. They've already reached top of mid. And it's going to come down to Paz to find the kill onto Bialy. Morels needs to do something here, but Pasha is going to get mowed down. And that's the A-bomb site in control. Although it's a 2v2. So this is doable. This is a winnable round for VP. Problem is, they don't have a kit.
Yeah, only smoke and a flash to play with. Space Soldiers, though, are low. They may feel like they need to play in more unorthodox or off-angle positions as a result of this. Because in straight-up duels, they should lose. You can see Mihu's baited out from Major. A 1-for-1 trade, now down to Neo. Paz also on for the ace. As he's already claimed the lives of 4 VP players. Bomb planted for him, but there's going to be a smoke into a potential defuse, trying to draw Paz out into the open. There's no reason for him to go peeking, especially as he's just seen Neo now. He's going to jump across, he's playing the positional advantage, and he's going to get the round. There's no chance that Neo can defuse from here on out. Space Soldiers will take a fourth into their own, a seventh, pardon me, into their own. I was looking at VP score and get a 3-round lead. It's just looked too easy. Paz on 14 kills already too.
Yeah, he's just beating it at the moment, and I really love the fact that I think they seem to hear what he just said. They played a little unorthodox, but they had 2 players playing towards library, and Paz played it perfectly, right? He didn't overcommit. Neo, he did what he could. He did still have a Molotov, so I guess he could have tossed it in towards library, you know, beyond the smoke, but then again, no kit to work with, so at least saves himself an AK-47. Question is, what is he going to do with this? They have 4 players stacked up towards B. So they are looking for a little bit of a gamble stack here. Pasha winning them towards mid. Almost gets a second kill as well, but Paz will drop him, but not before he's been dropped. 16 points of health.
Extremely low. But Space Soldiers have got the job done with worse than this. Looking to make a move back towards Banana now. Neo is going to join alongside Mihu into defending the B site. But again, it's out of lack of utility. It's only Neo that has a smoke and a Molotov, and he's going to go aggressive and will get the rewards for that aggression, but he goes too far. 1 kill may have been good enough, and because Mihu felt pressured after Neo died to go aggressive, he's going to die too. Again, it just seems these decisions, these 50-50 choices that VP are making the wrong call on.
Yeah, and you really can't blame them too much for it either, right? As Bialy has pushed up. He's got an AK, he's got Kevlar. This is doable. Never mind, it makes things a little bit rougher. Calyx will be found out. This is a nice crossfire being set up here. Paz at 16 HP, he just doesn't need to show himself at all. Just hold the angle, force Bialy to come into his direction. Engine's there to stab him, kind of like, you know, shoot him in the base of the skull. And Bialy, okay, a little bit of a team flash there, but Engine should get this kill. There you have it, 8-4 for Space Soldiers. For VP, well, it was an eco, and it's max loss bonus, so they will have the money for the big guns here. And it's going to be 2 ops coming out here, Vince.
Yeah, just trying something different. Pasha's already had an AWP a couple of times, mainly peeking mid when he died. In that head-scratching moment, Mihu with the second. It looks like Mihu will be playing B with it, and Pasha, is he really going to peek mid again? It's looking like he may. Nope, the smoke's going to pretty much stop his vision. So he's going to cross instead. That's going to take so much damage. 2/3 has been eradicated, and Morale's entire life has been made forfeit by Calyx's headshot. Again, VP finally get a buy, and it crumbles within the first few moments.
This is so rough. Pasha's alone. Backup is arriving in the form of Neo and Bialy. But Taras finds Mihu, and oh, that's such a sick shot as well. And that's a B bomb site, completely empty. The smoke's going to bloom. And it's still floating around towards mid. They have so much to work with, right? They have control of B, you have control of Banana, they have control of apartments, and 3v5. What do? They can just swing to whichever side they want to, depending on where they make contact next. And we see Xantares already slowly pushing out towards B. The smoke's going to dissipate, so there is some vision for Neo, but Neo is going to take the fight. It's a question. Pasha, meanwhile, finds a frag onto Paz. And Neo still holding the line. He's going to be instrumental. He's got to go big here if they would be looking to win this round, would be.
He's not really the kind of player that has been in the sort of form to suggest that he will, but there's the first. Xantares is lining up for him. Second frag comes to fruition, but it's at the cost of Neo's life. Eventually, the counteractive refrag in effect, and Bialy on his own 1-on-2. No kit, no nades, no chance, and he feels the same way. He's out of that. Space Soldiers will take a 9th. The woes continue for the Polish side. This is going to be 6 in a row.
6 in a row. 9-4. 2 rounds remaining in this half, and yeah, this has just been a nightmare half for Virtus.pro, right? I think Bialy's looking to save that AWP of Pasha's in. He should save it. Although that being said, Vince, we've seen Space Soldiers' CD side has been pretty horrendous against Optic Gaming and all the 3 matches. So, I don't want to be an optimist. I'm a realist, you know. I don't believe in anything. But, just saying, but VP, if the T side clicks, if they light the fire under their butts, they could potentially, kind of mount a comeback if Space Soldiers don't really pull up their pants on the CT side.
Yeah, definitely true. But what I would counteract that with is I don't think that VP have anywhere near the same levels of threat as Optic do. I think Optic just have way more going for them, and it's kind of a different ball game, right? Plus, I think Space Soldiers, they have kind of gradually warmed up on their CT side as the days gone on. But sure, I agree with you. I think that overall their T sides have looked far better today. I don't think there's any doubting that whatsoever. I'm just worried, can VP realistically do much when the roles are reversed? Engine's going to get a trade back onto Neo, who actually had the AWP back in the shadow area of B. They still have a player to the tight left, which is Mihu, but he's been found, and now it's all on Pasha, who's making a move around ruins. He does have cavalry charging in, and will be afforded the chance at a frag, but Paz spins around, swivels turret-esque, and drills into Pasha, and any chance they had is just dissipated. It's down to Bialy and Morels. Calyx has been flashed out and fragged, but without a kit at this point, they're going to have to get on the bomb straight away, and it's not going to happen. This round's done.
This round's done. And Major, it's such a great position as well to prevent any possible defuse from taking place. Pass to close it out, and we get into the final round of the first half. Space Soldiers with a phenomenal performance, and VP, this got to suck. Final round of the first half, and they have barely nothing to work with, rather. Mihu just going for the glass cannon. The rest of the team, MP9 and MP7, a couple of CZs. Isn't some utility to work with, but to be honest, I think 11-4 is a pretty realistic scoreline here. I think that's what we're going to be seeing. Although some aggression from Morels towards apartments. Gets a dink in, almost gets a kill on the Calyx, but Calyx will escape with the frag. One is starting to fall here. Bialy should be careful. Calyx, despite being at 21 HP, gets a second kill, and it's all on Neo. On the B bomb site, on Banana. He finds one, finds Engine. Up in hand. He's got Kevlar as well. He's got the utility as well. And that's going to actually force Space Soldiers to rotate all the way back towards A, where Pasha is all by stones. He's got a CZ, he's got armor, and a kit. But what can he do here?
He's come up with some iconic plays in the past. In these kind of scenarios where he just straight up outthinks the opposition. But this time, I think he's asking too much. Just an MP9 at his disposal. Now that he knows the A site is where the bomb has found a home, he's waiting for Neo to make a move. Now, Neo has been pretty decent for VP. He's top fragging. He's got 12 so far. So these are the kind of players you'd want. Pasha's got himself a free frag to open things off, and now Neo goes in. Can he pull off a 1-on-3 clutch? He's got Major already. That bomb has been ticking down ever so quickly. He doesn't have a kit. He needs to get on the bomb as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's just going to time him out. It's not required. Paz pierces through his forehead with the AK-47 round, and it will be the 11-4 half.
11-4. And yeah, we saw this earlier when Space Soldiers faced up into Optic, where Space Soldiers had 11 rounds. I think it was was it 11 rounds on the T side of Nuke? I do believe it was.
Yes, I think it was.
Yeah, but they did manage to throw that away as well, so let's not forget that. But I do agree with you, Vince, that Optic are obviously playing at a much higher level than VP are at the moment. So, and VP as well, with a stand-in, with a new player, Mihu, who just came in, a few months back, so he's also kind of new. And then you have Morels suddenly just standing in for Snacks just a couple of days prior, and everyone's kind of like asking what's going on here. This is a team not just in a lot of trouble, but also in flux at the moment, right? So this is going to require Herculean effort from the main players in the team, like Bialy, Neo, Pasha, these veterans. They need to really go above and beyond, because Morels and Neo, they weren't too shabby. They had their moments, like you mentioned. But yeah, they need to explode the pants and make something special happen here, else it's going to go down the train.
Certainly appearing that way. Train, of course, a choice of VP. You'd be hoping for big things from them. We've already seen that Pasha and Nihu do like to AWP together. And Train, of course, a map where double AWP setups, especially on the CT side, are pretty common. Definitely something you'd expect to see. But in the here and now, VP on the T side is pretty simple. They've got to win the pistol, or they're already 1 foot out of this map. They won the first pistol. Can definitely win the second. And if they don't, then, Space Soldiers are in such good shape. CT side or not. But do you have any faith here, Blair? Like, if we're being completely realistic and off previous performances, the Virtus.pro have a chance to go back into this, or is this a foregone conclusion, in your opinion?
Listen, Vince, Tyloo have pretty much shat on all my faith the past 4 years, so I have nothing remaining. I'm not a believer. I think Space Soldier is going to take this map very convincingly, and I don't think that VP is going to come back on train either, because yeah, Space Soldier just looks so much better as a complete unit, and even the rounds that VP won, they did come down to some crazy rounds, right? Some individual heroics like Pasha with the 2K through the smoke, and then Morel to the 3 take. So yeah, I am not a believer. How about you?
Honestly, nah, not really. I mean, I'd love to be proven wrong, you know? I'd love to be in a position where I could say, yeah, VP have every chance of coming back in this. But, I mean, look, they got beat off that Nobo team earlier. They've been getting beaten off sort of tier 5, 6 teams recently on a pretty regular basis. Snack's one of their best players, hands down, for the longest time. Yes, he's not been up there recently. That's safe to say. But Snack's a player that, you know, is in a position to change games, isn't even here. Where do you go from here? Like, can we really say that it's realistic? I don't think so. What does chat reckon? What do you guys in chat think? Do the VP have a chance?
There's gonna be some very reasoned opinions there. Although, like, to be honest, right, you gotta ask yourself, where do you go from here for VP as a lineup? I mean, I'm assuming Morels is just going to be a temporary stand-in. We still don't know about Snacks. I still find it hard to believe that he's just going to leave the team suddenly, all of a sudden, you know. Where do you go from here? Like, even the AGO players, if we want to pick up some of them, I don't think they'd be willing to let go. They're winning more tournaments than, you know, than VPR. It just seems like such a rough time to be, not just a VP fan, worse, it does a rough time to be a player in Virtus.pro. But that being said, the pistol round of the second half will start here. It's going to be a fast play from VP towards apartments. They already have apartments control, and for Space Soldiers, it's a pretty interesting stack. 4 players towards A. This could be quite painful for VP.
It's not looking too good. Elsewhere, though, Neo is trying his best to bait away players from the A side over towards B. That has been successful, but Major is there for one. They're going to try and take the bomb out. Me, who peeks and gets the bomb dropped out. Didn't need to go for that. They had the information they required, and Calyx is going to come through with one more. VP, that is such a sin. That's such a problem that you've put now on Neo's shoulders, who did everything you could ask. He went in there. He managed to claim himself a frag. He drew away players, and he still lose the bomb, and he still probably lose the round. Triggered.
But it's Neo. Oh, Neo! The 1v2. His team tried their best to lose that round, but Neo somehow, I don't know how he got that second headshot. That was insane. 180. I'm very, very conflicted at the moment, Vince. I really don't know what to say. Like, I mean, what do you say, honestly?
I mean,
that was just so stupid. Like, they peeked out mid with the bomb, going for the trade when Neo got the B bomb site, and then they leave it to Neo to clutch a 1v2, and of course, it's Neo, Mr. Philip Kupski, and he clutches it out.
I mean, Space Soldiers, much like Germany, have just been wrecked. For anyone watching the World Cup, they'll know what I'm talking about.
All right.
But VP, that does give them a lifeline. We discussed this. Second pistol was an absolute must. They had to get it, and they have. What do they do with it from here? Because they got the first pistol too, and they collapsed after the second round. Engine perched up with his CZ. Bomb in mid has just been retrieved, making him move up. But I take this one slowly. If VP get too carried away, that's where they start to walk into the danger zone with the CZs and the 3D Eagles. So they are taking their sweet time, understandably.
Indeed. But Archway, Major's going to be spotting a lot of players. USB, he's gathered a lot of information. And Paz going for the fight. The deagle in the hand. The flashbang is perfect though, and he's gonna get found out. Major to the library, trying to find something. In the meantime, Calyx will get nothing done this time around. And whoa, okay, Major and Engine, 2 quick kills. Bomb. There's no need to take the fight, Mew. There's no need to take that fight. Just get the bomb down is what he should do, and he will get it down. Pasha's going to find Engine. He's going to be Xantares left alone in a 1v3.
VP get it done. Here's LİVE. They lost a couple of players, but the job has been a success. Space Soldiers, no reason to force here. This would put them into a horrible shape. They've got plenty of rounds to work off. It's all around the next one now. Can have an AWP if they want a major. He's got more than enough funds. He'll have enough to get an AWP and some Kevlar and probably some nades too. See if they can maybe take some kills out of this too, just to bolster up a few more grenades going through into what you'd assume would be 11-7 scoreline.
Indeed, right? Like, yeah, it's an A stack. It's no one at B. Neo's just going to be leading the charge, Mac 10 in hand. He's Mr. Disposable at the moment. He's just going to be pushing in, gathering information, going to find out there's no one at the B bomb side. And Space Soldiers, there's no need to even go for the exits. Just, you know, sit in the corner, wait for VP to come into your way, because they don't want to feed this Mac 10 as well, right? So 11-7, Vince. VP showing some signs of life. The problem is the Byron's coming in next. And you just got to reiterate, whenever it was a proper rifle buy round or, you know, a pistol round, it did come down to individual heroics. Neo on the pistol round just a couple of rounds back. And earlier we had Pasha, we had, you know, Morels with his triple kill as well. But apart from that, as a unit, VP just seems so lost.
Well, this is a chance for them to find themselves. It's going to do the world of good to their confidence if they can take this round convincingly. If they can win the next one in the rifle round, then we're starting to talk. Then we're thinking, okay, VP can shift through the gears and they can really make a go of this. We've seen how shaky Space Soldiers have been on the CT side. Their economy management hasn't been great. Major's made some questionable decisions with the AWP when he peaks and when he doesn't peak. So I think that there is a gateway back in. I've won the second pistol, but a lot of it comes down to this. If Space Soldiers just sweep aside VP and they slap them back down to size and VP can't get any kind of momentum rolling, then this could be the round. I'm looking to see what Space Soldiers bring to it. Major does have his AWP. His spawn's pretty good for mid, and it looks like he may go for a peek. And he will. Let's see if he can find somebody, though, on the T stairs. Nobody present just yet. And VP not going to peek it anytime soon, I'd imagine. But he's got aggressive. These are the kind of plays I'm talking about. He's really got away with that.
There was no one at mid. I mean, there is Paz, but he's playing towards quads. So there was no one at mid to just mark down towards, you know, down towards T slope or help him out with a Molotov, a smoke, flashbang, nothing. If he got peeked out from the guy at mid or towards pit, he'd be a goner right there. Completely agree with you. I mean, these are risks you don't need to take. You know, you still have the lead. And now you have the full buy. Meantime, Pasha getting picked off early on towards the B bombs at entrance. Now VP, let's see what they do here. Neo's going to be just floating around. He's been playing this kind of lurk, kind of float roll towards the banana all this while. And it did work out for him in the pistol round. Let's see how it's going to fare against the rifles. In the meantime, VP exerting some pressure towards mid, getting control of brackets. And you can see a very passive hold from Space Soldiers. Major playing towards the library area, and then Paz and Calyx towards the site and the pit. Paz is actually going to aggress out, waiting for the fall flash from his teammate. Fall flash is going to pop anytime right now. Perfect flashbang, and Paz, 2 free kills. Thank you very much. And just like that, VP are going to be left with 2 players alive.
And just like that, VP's confidence must be shook to its core, because not only are they likely to concede this round, but Space Soldiers haven't really had to break sweat. Paz has taken some damage, but apart from that, it's just been smooth sailing. There's not too much utility on the side. There's only 8 seconds left, and VP, they're not even going to bother for this. You can see Bjarli's in apps while his teammate Neo is still in banana, just outside of it. So Xantares is going to be found by Neo, who eventually gets the kill onto him. No reason to peek. Will keep his weapon, but a 5-round lead has reopened, and Space Soldiers will be able to get themselves some more weapons to add into the mix.
Yep, they do do have a pretty decent buy, all things considered, and a little bit of extra money in the kitty as well. Like Mihu still has 3k, Neo on 2k, so it's not going to be a full reset. Even if do lose this round, Pasha is going to be going in for the peak. Okay, then Pasha just walks straight into the crosser Major, but he still pulled the trigger faster than Major does, and now Engine trying to retrieve that up, which he will. Risky play from him. He's got a Molotov. He's not using it yet. Flashbang out. Off in hand. VP. This is a golden opportunity to kind of wreak some havoc on Space Soldiers' economy once more. If they win this round, it's gonna not really break it, but it's gonna force Space Soldiers to go for a very, very light buy, or maybe just stick with pistols here. You see 3 players gathering up right outside the entrance of Banana. Xantara's getting tagged as well to 19 HP. Pasha's hitting his shots. Bogdanslav.
Yeah, I just feel like VP, sure, they're down, but maybe not out just yet. Because Space Soldiers haven't necessarily shown me a great deal on the CT side. And again, a lot of the same issues are starting to come up additionally. Xantares, with the AWP, is going to be making a move around the shadow side. There's so many grenades. It's blocking out the sun at this point. And a beautiful entry frag by Mihu, but it's up to Xantares with his 19 health. He's still stuck in the corner. And it was either going to be a nade or a bullet that found its way in there. Pazna, meanwhile, has denied Bjarli's life, but not the bomb. And Neo instantly drills into his head. So VP aren't done just yet. They're going to continue fighting until the bitter end. Calyx at a 1-3 wants no part of this. He's going to save. 12-8 will be the score.
Great opening frags coming out from Pasha. And for Space Soldiers, I'm a little surprised they didn't... I think they used a bit of utility a little too early. I unfortunately didn't keep an eye on the utility on the last 2 B players. But great work from VP overall. Neo as well, getting the bomb down. Insta frag onto Paz. Let's take a look at the economy here. It's not too bad. But yeah, I think it's going to be the call for a save here. The Calyx will, of course, have the M4, and he'll probably be playing towards B with maybe like 2 or 3 players. Might just go for pistol buys with Space Soldiers, try and do a little bit of damage. Oh no, okay. Force buy, of course, why not?
Good old forces.
I really don't like force buys, Vince.
Especially in a situation like this where you've got a 12-8 lead. You know, you've got a bit of a buffer to fall back onto, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't have... It's basic math, right? You've gone for this force buy. It's not a great buy. There's a Deagle, there's a FAMAS, there's a UMP. If you lose this round, you're going to get $1,900. That means it's an eco. And then off that, the next buy is also not going to be that great. It's still going to be M4's Kevlar, a little bit of utility maybe. You might have to make do with FAMAS. So 3 rounds where you don't have a proper buy. It's an eco this round and go for a full-fledged buy into the next one. It's basic math. And it just kind of tilts me a little bit when everything goes, especially when there's no need to. You're not being pressurized. You still have a 4-round lead out loud.
It could end up paying out for you, but if it doesn't, then VP are likely to get like a 12-10, 12-11 sort of scoreline, and this could shake the foundations of Space Soldiers' economy to a point where maybe Major can't get another up for another few rounds. Yeah, he hasn't been the most impactful with it, but Paz, what the hell? That flick to Mihu is disgusting. And Mihu's going to be reeling off that for the next few moments as he has to sit idly by and watch the rest of his team try and clutch this round out. They're doing a pretty solid job, though, with Bjarli with 2 entry frags. Morels with 1 of his own. Make it 2 onto Xantares. And although Paz started this round in hot ways, it's ultimately going to go against Space Soldiers, and he must feel sick to his stomach about that.
Indeed. That was a great shot. That was insane, in fact. But VP, Morels, once again, getting 2 kills, 1 towards Archer, 1 while crossing over right in front of the library. Engine looking to save the salvages M4, which he very well might. But let's look at the cash. Non-existent. They're going to get $1,900 for the bonus money, the lost bonus. And that's going to be like everyone less than $2,500 on every one of these players. So it's going to be an eco coming on anyway. Yeah, VP slowly but surely like clawing back into this game. It's going to be 12-9, and it's going to be just 3 rounds separating them from Space Soldiers. And again, right, Vince, I mean, Space Soldiers, the CT side, I mean, the T sides are great. They're phenomenal, but they struggle a lot on the CD side. I don't know why. It could be like they're playing a very reactive style of CS, or is it too passive? And even when they go for the risks, like you pointed out earlier, it's very risky plays. It's not like calculated risks. It's not like structured aggression. It's like Major just walking down mid all by his lonesome and trying to get a pick with the AWP, right? So a little bit of measured aggression would be nice to see out of Space Soldiers for a change.
Yeah, and it does seem like if they do go for aggression, it kind of reminds me of more of a puggy kind of outlook where one player just decides by himself, yeah, I'm going to go for this peak. And no one's with him. No one's like flashing him in, or they're not trying to get any avenging frags into play if he falls. So a lot of the time, Major just goes off by himself. Like, for example, on Mirage earlier against Optic, just pushes up mid with the AWP, dies, and no one's even close. No one's even in mid with him. And this has been a reoccurring theme. And that last round, I think, also highlights another issue they have. They're too prone to going for these force buys and going too all in. It didn't really make sense. That's a totally whiffed Molotov. In the meanwhile, it's thrown out by VP. And I think Morels may have took damage off the back of that one. It's a bit awkward. But yeah, it's hard to say. Like, Space Soldiers have just been really poor on their CT sides today, by and large. That's a free kill, though, onto Neo. And they could even go out and get that weapon if they so choose. And I think Zentaris is going to do just that.
Yep. Zentaris been having a very quiet game. I remember the last time he bottom fragged in the server, by the way. Haven't seen that in a while. In the meantime, Morels gets a frag. Trade comes in from Engine. Mage's tapping away through that smoke in the library, keeping the thieves at bay. But Pasha Morels, they're going to open up the site. Mage is still trying his desperate best to find something through the smoke with Engine with an M4. Might as well just fall back. Or are they going to be going for some exits here? There's an AK. I think he wants to retrieve that for his teammate, but Pasha gets one. Turns around, spots out Major as well. Gets both the frags. 12-10 for VP. Now Space Soldiers with the buy. They do have the money, but no AWP for Major unless he would be looking to go for... no, it's just going to be M4s, yeah.
Which I think I kind of prefer, actually, overall, for Space Soldiers. I feel like they're a little bit more well-structured, and they're better with their crossfires when they play with M4s as opposed to putting an AWP in there. Because Major does dial it in a little bit more when he's playing with an M4 over the AWP. He goes for way more of these super aggressive peaks. This time, though, they're going to be trying to take control over Banana. Zentaris and Engine just both forcing their aggression down the throats of VP, and Mihu is going to fall. Looks like Engine will be able to survive additionally. He's backed away. So opening pick has been a success. And now they're going to send back Zentaris to help out the A side. He's playing more of a sweeper role. Paz doesn't need any help, though. He's lighting up the scoreboard on his own. He's going to go back for another repeat. Spots Morels doing damage, finishes him off. Transitions across to Neo. Very well played for Paz. And Space Soldiers finally get themselves a rifle round. And it's flawless. They don't lose a single player.
That's brilliant. Like, finally growing a pair and just pushing the Banana, 3 players over there. And it wasn't just like one guy pushing out, right? It was like 3 guys with great usage of utility and whatnot, getting control of Banana. And VP, they immediately went for a fast play to apartments, but then Paz, and I do believe it was, I think it was Calix playing towards Pit, playing it perfectly, just shutting it down. Great work from Space Soldiers and finally showing some signs of life on the CT side. However, VP, they still have a lot of money to work with, a lot of utility. And look at this from Paz now. Now he's aggressing up towards apartments. Calix and Paz playing back-to-back. Aggressive hold towards app. And they have banana control as well. This is very ballsy, by the way, Vince. Like, usually when you go from map-controlled CD side, you want to push in through one extremity of the map. But pushing on both banana and apartments, that's risky.
Yeah, this is why. Because if you lose one player off the back of it, it forces your team into an over-rotation. You feel more compelled to get a rotation in quicker because the terrorists are more likely to just force their will on the site that they get the pick. That's a bit of an odd play, though, running straight through on towards the B side without having a backup or even your gun out. I think he had his back turned additionally. Calix has spotted Bialy. Free kill for Calix. He may have spotted a glimpse of Mihu, who is running up through mid additionally. Engine can definitely hear the footsteps alongside Calix, who's not going to be able to put his M4 to use just yet. Engine, though, close range there as well, looking for a second, picks it up, and it can't quite get the third, but does enough damage to VP to make this a reality. Oh, does he? No, Morels just gets the one tap, of course, and Major is sent sprawling away. The VP just about hold on.
Morel's 8 HP. You just need one straight bullet to hit him, and that box can be perforated with those M4 bullets. But beautiful one tap to get that clutch. And Space Soldiers again back to ecoing days. Although since they won the round prior pretty convincingly, they will have enough money after this eco. But VP though, this is an opportunity to get within kicking distance of Space Soldiers is 13. It's going to be 13 to 12 here. Because it is a full eco for Space Soldiers. It's just USPs. P2K and one deagle in the hands of Zentaris. We are okay. All right. That Nihu just got molested. Zentaris finds 2 kills with a deagle to his banana. Bomb is dropped, and he's got the guns as well.
Not like this, VP. Not like this. Pasha is on the prowl. Does land the shot. Not enough to outright kill Major, but make him think twice. Calyx from behind has pounced onto Bjarli. Oh, it's gone horribly wrong. Pasha's going to get smashed through the smoke, and Calyx is the only CT to fall. Zentara's going to trade weapons, throwing the AK across. Oh, dear, VP. How could you let this happen? I mean, sure, Zentara's landed a couple of beautiful shots, but you've got to accommodate your play towards that. Morel's not expecting a second player to be there. Engine shows his hand maybe a bit prematurely. Maybe this round is back on. Morel's 19 and 15 has been pretty much the pick of the bunch for VP. Coming in for snacks, of course, and now he could potentially clutch this, but no, it's not going to happen. Tried to play the mind games, and Paz was a step ahead. 14-11.
I don't... I mean, okay. Those was 2 very nutty shots coming from Zentaris. Like the deagle, the second one was a body shot, of course, but the first one was just a screamer, right? But Vince, like they invested $700 into that round. 1 Desert Eagle. That's all they had, and they somehow win the round. And somehow they've shattered the economy for VP. And despite it looked like they were getting some win in the sales, they were stringing rounds together in T-side, but now 14-11. They're broke as broke can be. It's only Morel has got $4,400. They've taken a timeout, just trying to decide what they're going to do here. They're going to force it up. It's just going to go with... Looks like they're going to force it up. You can see Neo, P250, Smoke, and Kevlar. I'm assuming Morel is going to go for the AK buy. So they're just going to force it up and try and, go for a Hail Mary round. But I think this could be the end here.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, I think at this point, VP is circling the drain. Just how quickly Space Soldiers want to finish this off, really. You have an AK for Morels. Fair enough, you're putting it on him. He's been the guy that's really done the most damage. Has 27 and 14. Again, one of the quieter players in the previous best of 3. It's good to see him shining. Zentara's 10 and 20. That is something that you will very, very rarely see. He's normally Mr. Consistent. He's normally the Terminator, the Turkish Terminator, but so far been pretty absent. Neo, close range to this P250. This is where the gun can do a lot of damage. A jumping headshot into Zentares, whose woes continue. That is so incredibly brutal. Does give VP a chance, though.
Okay. 130. Okay. All right. That happened. Engine 1v5. He finds 1, but VP. They got 4 kills with P250s. P250s, Vince. Someone explain to me what's going on. What is going on with this game?
Good old CSGO. Jumping P250 kills. Well, VP, I thought that was it. Apparently not. P250 too strong. And now Space Soldiers are ruined. Their economy is dead. What the hell?
Tack timeout getting called. Space Soldiers, they do well. At least they're not like a complete reset, right? Calyx on 5700. I just pray they did not go for a force buy right now. Please don't go for a force buy. Just eco it. They're gonna get what, $1,900 in the next one. That allows everyone to go for a pretty decent buy, right? Everyone's gonna have over $4,000. In the case of Calyx, they have like close to 8K. They can go for a full buy and play it out. But I've been known to be wrong, Vince. Force buy could come out here. No.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, anything's possible, isn't it?
Yeah, and let's remember how they won that round a couple of rounds prior. 1 deagle. So this time to have 2 deagles and a 5-7.
Let's see if history repeats itself. It would be 3 rounds in a row where the team with far inferior weaponry does come out ahead. Will VP allow it to happen? Nades forcing Zantara's back, going to do 10 damage in total between a HE and a Molotov. Oh, Zantara's, he's feeling it. He's feeling it. Be careful what you wish for, though, because Pasha's there with a deagle. Bit of damage was inflicted to Pasha, down to 54, but the kill is there all the same. And with that kill, and with Zantara's being taken out of the equation, you would feel this is VP's moment to get one step closer.
Indeed it is. Calyx all alone. The only thing preventing VP from just bum rushing the A bomb side is the fact that Calyx, that smoke is covering off the top of mid. And that's actually allowed time for the rest of Space Soldiers to rotate all the way back over to A. And VP, have they taken too long is the question, Major. Just a USB in hand, playing towards the old motor box. And here comes the play. There is Calyx playing from balcony 5-7. Deadly weapon still. Deagle in the side, USB in the side. Rotation taking place as well. And it's got to be... Oh, the P comes in! And almost gets a second kill. Calyx with the dink in, but doesn't quite get the frag. Still a player in the side, though. And it's going to be the Deagle. It's got to do work. But it's going to be all an engine, as Paz will be found out. And the bomb should get planted. Engine, Deagle, and a prayer on his lips. And I don't think he's going to win this one.
Certainly not. The first one dig, though, is pretty crisp, but Pasha has the angle covered, and his AWP will not miss. It reigns true. Space Soldiers into a buy round. There's going to be 3 players, though, with pretty low utility if they go for M4s. That's something to watch out for. If maybe Paz or Zantara's drop down to a FAMAS or maybe an SMG. They're not going to, so both of them are going to have very low grenades. Only the 1 kit between the entire team. This is going to be a bit of a worry. VP, in the meanwhile, going to hold on, of course, to the AWP and full assault rifles alongside it. So game well and truly on. This is the fulcrum point. This is where we could see who comes ahead on this map and takes it for themselves.
Indeed it is. 14-13. And for Space Soldiers, they're playing as passive as possible. Look at Zantaros is playing way at the back towards Dark. Engine playing from the coffins. And they don't even have much utility. Zantaros has nothing to work with. Engine has at least the smoke and a couple of flashes and a nade to stall a B play if it does take place. We have Neo once more floating towards Banana. Looks like that nade's really gonna hurt. Paz on 55 HP, but not spotting a single player. And a flashbang is gonna come in with a flashbang. Okay, Team Flash comes in and he still gets Mihu. The bomb dropped right in front of his feet. And VP will have to rethink their plans. I love what Major's doing. He's pushed up further, playing towards the cubby area. Molotov's gonna flush him out. Neo picks up the C4. Still, man disadvantage for VP. What are they going to do from this point onwards?
He's just holding his ground for the time being, but now he knows it's going to be an A hit. Calyx, what can he get done from this position? They're going to line up from, they're getting in each other's way, and Calyx will oblige, knocks them both off their mortal coil, leaving it in the 2-on-3. 25 seconds to play with Pasha. Not looking to his left at quad, and that's where Major will stand tall and deliver what could be the fatal blow in this round. Bialy able to get close to the bomb. 12 seconds to get it planted and relocate and see if he can maybe get this clutch in effect. Not going to happen. Space Soldiers, 2 map points.
Has sitting pretty in 28 frags as well, just 2 shy of the 30 bomb, and that was just VB kind of telegraphing exactly what they'd be doing, right? They really didn't pressurize the B bomb set either, so Space Soldiers were able to rotate real quickly as well. VP, after all of that hard work, are they going to fall short? Just a couple of rounds short. That's got to suck. And Space Soldiers as well, again, right, Vince, they're not really trying anything special. They're playing really, really passively. Major towards Archway, 2 players towards one. That's Calyx playing from apartments. Pass towards quads. At least for a change, that they have Zantara's engine playing a little bit more ahead, barely. But Pasha with that op, he's been instrumental in getting his opening picks, right? So if Zantara's can he just spot someone out and not get taken down is the question. Pasha's going to go for the peek. Smoke's going to come in. Flashbang for Pasha to peek. Smoke from Zantara's keeping them at bay, but there's a gap there, and Pasha's going to punish him for it. It might just be a fast B hit, but no, they're going to bide their time. Bear in mind, they just have 2 pistols as well to play with. They don't really have a full buy. And here comes the hit.
Neo waits a little bit too long to save Mihu's life, but they will claim the kill as Engine's the last man standing. That's the first headshot onto Pasha in this encounter. 3-on-3, this skirmish is starting to get dangerously close for VP, but they're going to take that equality and get rid of it as Morels lands the headshot, leaving Calyx and Paz on a retake journey of their own. The Molotov actually is going to spread to Bjarly unless he's very fortunate. It actually doesn't. And that could bait Space Soldiers into a false sense of security, assuming that side is basically covered off now. And it's not going to happen for Space Soldiers. They're going to get found out. Morels with 2 starts things off and ends it. And we could very well go the distance because Space Soldiers in this final round of regulation have absolutely nothing to play with.
Okay then. 3 CZs, the 5-7, and Xantares on the UMP. That was a round that we just closed out, but VP creditwords due. They, Pasha being instrumental in opening up that bomb site. And some good trades going their way and some nice post plans as well. Despite it being a 3v3, they were able to win it out without losing any players. And now it's going to be Bjarly pushing up towards apartment. The fact that he spotted Calyx out, that should be a tell that's another player waiting towards apartment, and Bjarly's waiting patiently. Very, very experienced player that he is. And Paz, he knows this as well. He's going to fall on back. Neo, in the meantime, finds a kill. Flashbang is great. Engine finds both kills, though, and that's going to be 2 guns in the hands of the CTs. And Paz is floating around towards apartments as VP will have to make the way towards A. They're announcing their presence as well. Paz sees it in hand. What can he possibly do? They haven't really checked towards pit, so that's going to buy the CT some time as Engine and Major making the way towards mid. There is a player towards quads. It's Morels waiting for the AK-47. They have a player in pit as well. That's Bjarly. And here comes the play Major and Engine. They're going to peek together, but Engine is going to give himself away to Shadow. A tell that he's going to be peeking around the corner. Morels barely alive. 15 HP. He did get tagged down. Now it's all in Major and Paz. Who finds Major. It's all in Paz, though, and it's going to be the round going the way of VP, and they somehow take it to overtime.
I feel like we're just going to have one of those days where we do every map of the best of 3s and every one of them goes overtime. It feels like it's going to go that way. VP, though, credit to them, they have dodged multiple bullets that end the curse, really, of not being able to seemingly win the game of CS. They're still in this one. It looked like they were dead and buried, especially after that first half. When they went 11-4 behind, they won the pistol, had a couple of shaky moments, but Space Soldiers never really got going on the CT side. So both teams got 4 rounds on CT. And so in overtime, you have to assume that is going to be the more valuable of the rounds that they pick up. 16K, MR3 is the format for these overtimes.
MR16 would be the death of it.
MR16 overtimes, get wrecked. But yeah, MR3, 16K is how overtime will come down. So plenty of funds for the AWPs if they so choose. And we'll be darting into this overtime shortly, I'm sure. There we go.
All right, not much time being wasted there. So VP has somehow pulled it off. And the woes of Space Soldiers on the CD side continue, Vince. I mean, they've really been very lackluster today. 4 maps we've seen them play, and all 4 maps, the CD side has been just, I think the word is abysmal, right? Considering they have such a great T side, they won like 10 rounds, 11 rounds on the T side, and yet somehow managed to fall short. Or even when they won, it was a very tight affair as well, right? So I think it went to overtime and +2 for them to win. So I think they do have some homework on their hands. But in the meantime, right now, no time, no respite. They will have to fight for survival. 15-15, up in the hands of Major. He's going to be playing towards B. And again, a very static setup for Space Soldiers towards this, towards both the sides, in fact.
It's a free gimme kill that Major will take. And Pasha just round the corner, no seemingly care for what could be on the other side. Does get punished for his over-exuberance. Morel's burning to a crisp in there, going to take a huge amount of damage. Does give him the positional advantage for the time being, but with Space Soldiers 5v3 up and 2 of VP low, it's looking like they're at least going to start with a CT round in this overtime.
See them sneaking up, though, but a flashbang is pure perfection. Calyx finds him. Got a second player out as well, Bialy. And Xantares will join the party. Flawless turn from Space Soldiers, not losing a single man, barely taking in damage, in fact. Major, I think, just took like 20 points of damage. Apart from that, everyone else were untouched. And you got to ask yourself this, right, Vince? I mean, if you look at the score right now, 16-15, but you also see Xantares is sitting on 11 frags. That is not normal at all. And if he was just playing to his usual level in this map, this could have been over a long time back.
100% it would have been, yeah, definitely. He's had to rely on the likes of Paz, Calyx, these guys to carry, which in previous games they really weren't. You know, it was mainly Engine, I would say, was doing a lot of the work, Xantares was doing a lot of the work, and I mean, that's one of the positives of Space Soldiers. They're all capable of carrying the team. They're all capable of pulling their weight. There's no doubt in my mind that if Xantares is, you know, out of first gear in second or even higher, that this is already over. But maybe he's going to start to show up in this overtime and just take it away from VP. It is the choice of Space Soldiers. But if VP were able to somehow come back and win this from this position, then going through into train, I think they would feel pretty damn good about their chances. Morales is going to get the kill to Xantares, who decides to push into Boiler a little bit too late. That timing's not going to pay out for him, so his problems certainly haven't been figured out just yet. What do VP do with this early pick, though, Blair? It's looking like they're going to sit into Banana and just kind of soak up the time.
Yeah, and for Space Soldiers, they're so timid right now. They're not really going, although they have 3 players towards that A bomb site, they're not really going for any info plays, so to speak. And so they can just like, VP can swing to either side. Although the bomb is making its way towards Banana right now, they can just swing back depending on what they feel like. Major needs to get this pick, and he will find Mihu, but a hit is going to be coming in towards B. It's all on Engine. 1, B, 4 in that side. He just finds 1 kill before Bialy slaps him down, and the bomb is going to get planted. It's going to be a 3v3 retake. Space Soldiers, they have money. They can just go for this, but Pasha, he's been hitting his shots. Whew, just misses it, though. Spots at the elbow, not able to quite land it, but bomb's going to get planted, and it's retake time for Space Soldiers.
1 Molotov in the hands of Paz. If he throws that towards Shadow, then things could get kind of interesting. If not, then I think this round will go the way of VP 9 out of 10 times. It's a pretty tough site to retake in an even playing field. Major slowly peeking around. Oh, you can see the barrel of the gun. Oh, can he? The way he's looking there is like he couldn't, or maybe he just called it while he's looking at Shadow. A good trade, though, for Space Soldiers. Just got a whole lot better. It's going to be close, but they're going to get the defuse. 17-15 in the lead.
That was a very nice retake. Major especially, hitting some really, really good shots. Methodical work coming out from Space Soldiers. 7-15, VP. Fortunately, it's 16k, so, and plus they got the bomb now, so they have a lot of money still to work with. It's going to be full buys throughout, and are they going to fall short here? Because if Space Soldiers get to 18 rounds, if they win all 3 rounds here, knowing the T side, they could just pretty much steal the win away from VP, who have fought so very hard to come to overtime. Uh-oh. Calyx opens things up with an AK-47 towards mid. That's just so unfortunate for Mihu.
Yeah, pretty much the nightmare start. You're chasing down 2 rounds, and we discussed already how important the CT rounds are going to be, considering both teams had a very shoddy CT side. It was mainly the T side that was solid. So you finally got yourself some kind of leeway. You're trying to push up mid, dead instantly. No counteractive play at all. Calyx hasn't lost a single point of health. The freest of kills, and VP straight on the back foot.
Major just debating whether he wants to get on top of the mini wall, but thinking the better of it, because he is all on with the B bombs. If he gets taken down, they're just going to be bum rushing B. So 4 players towards A. Hold Xantares just going in all alone with no one to trade for him. These are the small little plays that lose you games. Now Paz, he's going to be spotted by Neo, but he's what is that from Paz? That is huge! He finds 2 kills. Great inhuman spray control. And now, just like that, it's all in Morales. 11 HP. Up in hand, but this round is over.
Paz was getting tagged up by Neo too, through quad. He had no right to be able to do that. That is just absolutely disgusting. And after Space Soldiers couldn't seemingly buy a CT round towards the end of regulation, they just put 3 on the board instantly.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, surely disgusting. That's it done now.
Yeah. But then again, Vince, we have been proven wrong many times so far. So
that is true. That is very true.
VP could just pull off like a 3-0 stomp right now, but looks unlikely though. I won't lie, because Space Soldiers, their T side was really solid. Much more clinical, I'd say, compared to what VP showed. But then again, it is VP. These are the polls. No matter how far they sink, they somehow still manage to find a way to prove everyone wrong. Although, to be honest, it's been a while since they've proven anyone wrong. Here we go. Dual op setup is going to come out. Pasha and Mihu. And for Space Soldiers, 5 AKs. No op being purchased by the T side.
I want to see more plays like that from Paz. That was just absolutely nuts. Let's see if he can get it done. Major going to knock out the window, line up the Molotov to stop players pushing up through Boiler towards the bedroom side of Apps. Has been successful. Pasha with the peak though. Soldierts. Man, he's just having a rough go of it here on Inferno. Mihu's not going to find anyone as of yet. He has been tagged down to 28. And pretty slow by Space Soldiers. They've got pretty aggressive positions in Apps, but we don't expect them to go out too aggressively behind it just yet while smokes are in play. Oh, that flash perfectly timed into the peak. I think the Space Soldiers were also trying to set up for a couple of flashes in the meanwhile, so that's completely destroyed them. Bjarly plucks out Paz in midair, shuts him down, dead before he hit the ground. And that should be this round at least, finding itself on the way of the Polish side. To add matters worse, Bjarly spanks Engine through the smoke, and Calyx is going to follow suit. 4K for Bjarly.
I just got to say, when you watch Bjarly and he just goes off, it's one of the most beautiful things to watch in Counter-Strike. I know it doesn't happen that often nowadays, but just that play from him, the flashbang was perfect. Even getting the kill on the guy dropping down, great control, great awareness, great positioning. Everything was perfect there. And VP, they're half a foot in the door. They need 2 more rounds in a row to take it to overtime number 2. Space Soldiers, though. The op is going to come out in the hands of Major. Probably try and mix things up a little bit. Try and just go for the big place play instead of just trying to bum rush the way through the apartments. Major just rattling off shots towards mid. And for VP, they really don't have much control either, right? They do have Miu playing towards sandbags. They have a couple of plays towards brackets, but not much real estate for the poles.
Soldierts tagged down to 50. Major's lining up flashes to land in Banana for peaks. And there were 2 players in there, one of which is Neo, who's able to get the frag and start to back away onto Soldierts. Once again is the first player to fall. It has become a reoccurring theme in this map. And Space Soldiers looking to occupy mid and see if they can maybe work off this and look onto Arches, but they need to be careful because Pasha is there, laid in wait. He gets smashed down by Major's AWP, but it's going to go from bad to worse though for Space Soldiers. Neo with a quick fire double, leaving Space Soldiers pretty much ruined here. They've got the bomb heading towards B though, and additionally, Engines played very aggressive up, meeting Neo nearly in the CT side of Speedway. So now they're going to be able to get some control over the B side. Engine's gone on for another frag, and this is looking like it could be over. Bjarly tries to spray through the smoke, wildly, erratically, does tag down Engine, but to 2 health, so he's somehow alive still. And the positions are going to be difficult for Bjarly to flush out. He does have a kit, going for the spray, but Calyx lands the headshot, and VP come up short. They battle back valiantly to take us to overtime, but they're not able to take the map. Space Soldiers win their choice of Inferno.
I'm just getting a like deja vu all over again, Vince. Just like Dust 2, Space Soldiers, their map pick, going down to overtime to finally clinching it out. Valiant effort from VP. One thing I'm going to say is I'm glad that they at least showed some fight, right? We saw Pasha, we saw Neo, even Moritz as well. Like they're hitting some pretty good crucial kills. A little bit of life in the in what is the ailing body of the poles, but map number 2 is going to be Train, and if VP are going to play this way on their map pick, I wouldn't be surprised if they could possibly, just possibly, push it to a 3rd mapper here.
Yeah, I'd say Soldierts needs to show up for Space Soldiers if they're going to win Train. He's an integral part of that machine. But we're going to find out if that's the case or not, ladies and gents, as we head into our second map. First off, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break where the players get themselves some refreshments and ready to hop on board. This is our lower bracket matchup between Space Soldiers and Virtus.pro. And after this comes to its conclusion, we have another best of 3. We'll be heading back to the upper brackets. We'll give you more information on that as and when we find out what's happening with it. But we'll be back in a few moments' time. Stay with us.
Back with the ankle there. This should be impossible to do it. That's a nice flick, though. And he's got to find Hobbit off to the left. Oh! What is that flick from Draken?
Golden with a Molotov down will try and find them up a bit of time, get across, and Spike just has bit the dust. Booms is going to come up with another one, and another! He's been a beast so far this event.
Kerrigan's already tagged. So too is Olaf. They're going to have to hit a perfect shot. They can't do it. Taco goes back! Guardian's got to make up for it. He's tapping him, but he can't find it. Fallen's on the defuse. Fallen is on the defuse. The lineup, he's still there. It's done. He doesn't have the ammo. He doesn't have the ammo. He's holding it. Oh! Guardian!
What if there was a DreamHack PC? What if we told you there is? This is the DreamHack PC, built with the best components on the market, optimized for a flawless esports experience. Just add games.
And we're going to be taking you through this best of 3 and one more afterwards. This is the lower brackets, the loser of which will not progress any further. The winner will live to fight another day. And on Space Soldier's choice of map on Inferno, they did win it in overtime in the end. Could have been over a lot earlier, but it was a bit laboured, and VP made somewhat of a comeback. And now we move across to Train, which is VP's choice. The question is, Blair, can they take this map and get us into a third?
Well, I mean, if you're just looking at probability and statistics, right, Xantares had a really off map on Inferno. He wasn't, apart from that one round with the Deagle where he got a couple of kills, he just was pretty much non-existent. And despite that, Space Soldiers were able to kind of steal that win away from VP. It looked like VP were winning it at one point with that comeback. But just looking at probabilities, Xantares should wake up now. And if he wakes up, and if the rest of the team, like Major, Calix, Paz, Engine, you just keep doing whatever they're doing on Inferno, I think Space Soldiers should have a pretty solid chance here. But then again, it is VP. So to be very honest, Vince, I don't know.
Yeah, I think to be fair, there's a lot of variables that come into play, and I completely agree. I think Xantares, that was definitely an exception to the rule. Typically, he is Space Soldiers' solid player. He is one of the most consistent players of Space Soldiers, if not on most teams, to be honest. So I don't think you'd have a performance of that kind of poor level 2 maps in a row. I think he does have a point to prove now, and he's going to come out swinging. T-side, this is a map on Train where, yes, I think most people would agree it's CT-sided, but if you have a solid T-side, man, you can get a lot of success here. This can actually be a nightmare for the CTs because AWPs are so important. If you break the economy and you grind it down, things can get really bad. Bialy, though, has found himself a bit of information at the cost of just over a quarter of his health, but he will be able to back away to the B site and join his teammate of Neo.
Yeah, that rotation taking place could be instrumental for Space Soldiers, right? Because they still have a pass playing towards team mid. You have Engine. Engine's actually, I think he's going to try and sell this fake. He's got a smoke. He's got a couple of flashbangs. And he's got his teammate as well. So if they can toss this in, and that can draw out Pasha, who is playing towards Z. And there we go. We can see Pasha already rotating in. The second is smoke and the flashbangs deploy. The rotation taking place. Morel still sticking around, but now he will have to commit here. He doesn't spot anyone now, but he's still going to stick around towards the bomb train. Xantares opening it up. Mihu's going to fall towards Ivy. Morel's all alone, going to get pincered, and that is going to be the outer bomb set, pretty much in control with the T's. However, Bialy has replied back, and Neo and Pasha join the party as well.
Bomb has been planted in amongst the ruckus, and Neo has now fallen on his sword. Has close range dispatches of Pasha and Bialy in connector. All that remains for the Polish side. 40 health becomes 29, and he has to back away. Just making sure that no one is pushing behind him at this stage. But with the bomb planted and no kit, that pretty much is the round that's going to follow. I mean, ultimately, he's not going to be able to clutch unless he starts to get a move on.
Absolutely. And for Space Soldiers, that was a very well executed round, right? Like perfectly faked out. There were just 2 players towards outer. Bialy desperately trying to stay alive, but Paz somehow manages to, well, basically pull off a Neo, avoids the bullets, and takes on Bialy. So Space Soldiers win the round. And they win it very convincingly. That was very well played out indeed. The fake worked perfectly. VP over-rotated a little bit. I mean, they had no option. They had to at least keep 3 players there in a bomb site. And Xantares opening up the round with the opening kill. Force buy, of course, for VP. Pasha with the scout. The Eagles all around. And let's see Space Soldiers' woes with the anti-Eagles continue, as Paz will be in the receiving end of those bullets there initially.
1-for-1 trade. Should favor Space Soldiers, even after a rocky start, losing Paz. Bialy's gone down, who was one of their better players alongside Morels. And again, for those of you wondering, Snacks. Oh, Pasha! That's a hell of a shot into Major, but for those of you wondering, Snacks is... It seems like it's unknown, but things aren't exactly great. There's trouble in paradise. So Morels is in for him.
What's it... How long are you talking about it? I don't think it's been a paradise for VP.
That is
quite a
true.
long time.
I mean, the paycheck's not bad.
Indeed, yeah, paycheck's pretty good. Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing for them. I mean, pretty shit, but still.
But unsure as to what's happening with him or where he's going. Somewhere else is in for the time being. 5-7, gonna drill that into the side of Xantares' head. He doesn't check his corners. So it is looking like VP could maybe take this round and make it their own. Alex is tapping himself to victory. Engine comes in with one of his own, but Calix, his teammate, his tag team partner, has been momentarily silenced. Only 25 seconds left, too, for Engine to somehow get onto the site and clutch this round. Neo shows himself a little bit too much, and now Pasha, last play left alive, is going to come out into the open. Engine's missed his chance, going to throw the grenade, but it's not going to kill Pasha. 10 seconds, he's got to get a move onto the site right now. Can't afford to wait any longer. Going to fake it out, get Pasha into the open. 4 seconds, I don't think there's enough time, and Pasha's won the round. And to make matters worse, Engine may die after time 2. Is he going to survive? Just about.
Oh, Lord. Pasha played perfectly, though. The second he peeked out, just went behind the bomb train, played the time perfectly. But Space Soldiers, man, they just don't seem to be able to convert these second rounds. I've lost track. I mean, we've been casting the games back to back, right? And they had those, they had these rounds against Optic Gaming as well, and now against VP. They just struggle converting these anti-ecos. And VP, credit where it's due, Pasha was just instrumental. So great shot with that scout of his, and then overall VP. That forced by working out for them. They do, however, only take the scout from the previous round, so it's kind of a mixed bag of weaponry here. MP9, UMP, MP7, M4, full array of SMGs. And for Space Soldiers, they've gone for the force buy. Deagle's out, CZ, and that one Soul AK-47 in the hands of Engine is going to be the utility guy as well, going to be tossing in the smoke, and they look like they're going to be committing to the lower bomb site. And it looks like it's going to be almost kind of a retake setup, but that Molotov and that spray from Bialy finds 2 kills. Is looking for more. The nade sails in, doesn't quite find anyone. Then Calix and Paz with a quick reply, 3v3. However, look at how low the players in Space Soldiers are.
The bomb plant's decent, though, when you consider what they came into the round with. And it just got a whole lot better. Morels has been found wanting by Paz. Neo from the backside with an MP7. He's going to be able to claim the kill. The nade's not going to be able to get far enough to claim anything onto Paz, but Mihu with a double in the end will get the round going in VP's way. It was anticipated, it wasn't expected, but 3 kills on a bomb plant for Space Soldiers, all things considered, that really isn't too bad at all.
Indeed. They did, however, go for the force, right? So, you should be looking to save this round. I mean, like, just go for an eco, a few pistols, P250s coming out, maybe try and inflict a little bit of damage, because for VP, they did lose 3 players, although it was primarily SMGs. And you can see the purchase here. Rifles all around on every one of the players, and they have nothing remaining in the bank. And for Space Soldiers, Deagle's out, reasonable buy, not a single bit of utility, so they're going to be probably taking this a little passively, just looking for aggression from VP, try and find those sweet 1 Deags. In the meantime, Pasha pushing up, little unnecessary risk, I feel, there, because they should know that it would probably only be pistols for Space Soldiers. So Pasha flirting with danger, but he will come out on top. He gets a frag and shows his team has the man advantage. As Bialy finds himself a frag as well.
Oh, Engine, nice 1 Deag. He's going to be able to get the M4 off the corpse of Bialy. And also put some panic into the minds of VP to move into position. Pasha, somehow still alive with 2 health, has to bide his time and wait for the rest of his team to arrive. Neo is already there. Neo who's making a move, and additionally, Morels could rotate round the back from Pop Dog. So there are options, but again, Space Soldiers with ultimately just Desert Eagles have got the bomb planted. It's sure looking like they're going to lose this round, but I would say that another bomb plant, again, is really not bad. They're going to have a very solid, healthy buy now going through into round 5.
Absolutely. Bomb down, I think that's mission accomplished right there, right? They also get 1 constellation frag on the Bialy. For VP, not going to be... I guess they'll be a little annoyed with that, you know, losing a rifle and allowing Space Soldiers to get the bomb done, because that allows Major to go for an op buy if he does want to go for it. No, it's just going to be AKs all around. However, the utility is solid indeed. A ton of flashbangs, 5 smokes, 5 Molotovs. On the other hand, for VP as well, they have everything to work with. So this is going to be probably the first full-fledged rifle round of this matchup. This particular map at the very least. And Pasha, seeing what he can do with the scout. What can he do with the op? It's going to be Morels opening things up. Finds pass. Pasha spots that player crossing on over. Should be careful. He's going to go for the re-peek, and he's going to miss the shot. He's playing a very dangerous game here with an incendiary. That's going to keep the T's to his IV in vain. Pasha still floating around. Finds the frag on Zantares finally, ensuring that VP keep the man advantage.
Looked a bit disjointed, though, on the attack. A lack of cohesion. Thought after they finally had some AKs in play, we'd see some kind of set play or sort of simultaneous push out of Ivy and main. Pasha, so patient, burning alive, still waiting for that shot, and will be rewarded with the scalp of Calyx, leaving Major and Engine both together in Ivy with the bomb in hands. Only the one kill on the VP side, and that's going to be Morel's. Mihu, in the meanwhile, coming around the corner slowly, will get perforated by Engine in the head. Did do significant damage before dropping, however. Going to look for a boost over the smoke. See if they can find themselves a straggling CT player. Nothing so far forthcoming. 30 seconds coming up on the board, and Space Soldiers, at this point, have got to go all systems in. They've got to go straight for the site if they want a chance at winning this round.
Yep. Surprised he hasn't spotted out Major yet. He peeks out an inch. There we go. Spotted Major. Might take a shot. Great discipline, and Pasha gets a final frag as well. Perfect timing from him. 3 kills for Pasha there. And for VP, 4-1. They go into the lead. They have a pretty solid lead already now. Space Soldiers can go for a buy here, but I would like to see just pistols coming out. Maybe pistols and some armor, and try and force another bomb plant. But for VP, the money's still not that great yet right now, Vince. Like, you know, just Pasha's got cash to work with. The rest of them, you know, 3,000 on Bialy, everyone else around $2,000 mark, perhaps lesser. So they will be looking to string a few rounds together here, at least a couple more rounds without having many casualties before they're going to feel comfortable. But all things considered, a great start for VP on their map pick.
Yeah, I think these are the kind of rounds where they need to make sure they don't take too many casualties, so they, you know, keep a minimum of 4 players alive. Flash into peak, and Morels is dead. That's going to be a weapon. Also trading hands. That nade's going to do decent damage to Paz as he looks to get out of there. But that's a weapon across the Space Soldiers, and Morels dead and buried. So that's a pretty horrible start for VP if they do want to keep as many players alive as possible. Because you'd assume that they're going to hemorrhage more now after going aggressive and looking for information, because they're worried in case Space Soldiers are trying to hatch a sneaky play.
Indeed. And you can see VP right now, they are trying to adapt to the fact that they've lost a player, but this is not exactly a very stable setup, one might say. They're floating around, hoping to spot something out. Space Soldiers have gathered up towards Ivy. It's going to be Xantares with the Deagle, waiting patiently for Mihu to walk in. He finds a frag, and on Neo, he's going to get... Oh, he spots one, he goes for the spray, finds 2 kills as well, and he actually finds all the 3 kills. A great spray from Neo, and Xantares left alone with the Deagle, but this guy is such a beast. But Pasha is there to save the day. An expensive round lead for VP, but Neo coming up with the goods.
Now, that's some crispy, tasty shots by Xantares, but ultimately the damage is being done elsewhere. But again, as we highlighted, because they've lost a couple more players, this is putting Mihu onto $800, Neo's on $550, and if Space Soldiers can claim this round, then they're going to start to give VP real issues. It's just been more along the lines of the only round that Space Soldiers have won was the pistol. In all these rifles, they've been getting battered, and Pasha's going to continue that going forward. Kill to Paz does get traded out. And could that be the floodgates opening now for Space Soldiers? They're sure hoping so.
Bialy being tagged down, 50 to 48 HP. Could be a problem, but as long as he stays alive here and gets at least... If he can get a double, that'd be great, but even if he just gets 1 frag, it could be enough. Although, rotation is the distance away. Morels is just debating where to go for. Neo's playing aggressive towards mid. Mihu as well. So that can allow Morels to make his way towards inner, but nope, it's going to be a little too late. The hit's going to come in. Bialy, what can he do? He's kind of low here, and it's going to be Engine and Paz teaming up together. Engine getting the kill. Major with the AWP. He's not stopping anytime soon. Engine finds Mihu as well, and just like that, Neo's going to be left alone. Space Soldiers a very fast hit towards that inner bomb site. And Bialy, poor Bialy, what could he possibly do with that position, right? He needed some backup, but great work coming out from Space Soldiers and Major. First gets the trade kill, and then the follow-up kill towards Z. And Neo just going to be falling back, holding on to his guns. So money ain't too shabby. They can go for a buy, because Bialy and Pasha is going to be a pretty buff when it comes to the cash there. Pasha can buy an AWP for himself. Bialy can drop a gun towards Mihu. Moritz might have to make do with a Mac 10 or maybe a Mac 7, and he might, a UMP or a Mac 7, and he might just want to play towards Pop Dog, I'm assuming. And of course, if Neo manages to hold on to this M4, which by the looks of things, he might.
Yeah, which harkens back to what we were talking about earlier, that they really needed to save at least one. And now you assume that they go for a force behind it. They're going to spend the rest of their funds, can drop an M4 from Pasha. So his funds now depleted. Everybody going to have M4s. That's great. But you can see the bank balance is certainly not healthy. It's not happy. And so Space Soldiers, they went on a 5-round curse, really, where nothing would go right for them, where, sure, they were constantly chipping away kills here and there, but they were also coming up short when it really counted. Now they have a real chance to crack into the T side of train and start to pull out some rounds of their own and get this closer and put some real pressure on Virtus.pro. But they need to get this round first. If they lose it, everything's reset for them in terms of how hard they've been punishing VP lately.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head there. And just to add on to that, VP. This is the thing, right? Even though they're 5-2 up, if they lose this round, it's reset city. And they're going to have to probably go for a double save. And that's going to allow Space Soldiers to get to 4-5 rounds maybe. And that's something which you don't want to see, right? VP would be looking to kind of have a lockdown on the CT side, trying to get as many rounds as possible. But now we do see pressure being exerted towards Zena. Bialy going to be falling back, playing towards the coils. He's going to be pretty much in a one-and-done spot. It's going to be Pasha, being spotted on Bialy, though, with the spray down. He finds 2, and the smoke's going to keep him alive for a few more seconds. He's doing great work positioning himself. Neo's going to walk out. Neo finds 2. Major does burn Neo alive from beyond the grave. But Paz 1v3. He knows where Bialy is, but Bialy, he's not missing anything. Triple kill for him. Such a huge hole from Bialy there.
LVP have dodged those bullets and dodged the issue that maybe was coming up, but Space Soldiers are good to buy once again. It's going to be Paz on a Desert Eagle. Everybody else, though, pretty solid investment. So VP still have some of the same problems, although now Mihu 3.2k, Neo's got 1600, certainly healthier in that respect. The rest of them, though, certainly not the same. Pasha going to go aggressive. Going to be meeting Paz, just sprays wildly through the flashbang. And as soon as his eyes become adjusted to the light, he finds out that he's got himself a kill. Nice surprises. Elsewhere, VP are destroying Space Soldiers across the board, getting all the trades going their way. Mihu onto Calyx, and that just leaves Major. Space Soldiers are collapsing here. Typically, it's been the T sides that have been their strongest, but this is looking really poor.
Indeed, that was such a disjointed hit coming out from them. They went for the fast play, but still, like, they went in 1-by-1. Major is not going to be long for this world. Morels is going to get the flawless round coming out for Virtus.pro. And they even pick up the AWP, so Morels is going to be tossing that over to Pasha. And for Space Soldiers, they had such a good opportunity to break the bank of Virtus.pros, but now it's their turn to be completely wrecked economy-wise. It's going to be pistols. Deagles, maybe CZ here and there, but yeah, just the Deagle being purchased. 2 Deagles specs, and Taras and Major going to be dual-wielding the hand cannon. But Virtus.pro starting to we're looking a little shaky there, but nice couple of rounds helped out in no small measure by the fact that Space Soldiers just seemed a little lost in this past couple of rounds.
Oh, but you always see those Desert Eagles in the hands of the Turkish players. They kind of expect some magic to happen, and Paz is sneakily scampered away with the AWP. So pretty much a nightmare start for VP, even though they're in the driver's seat in terms of CT side of train. To lose the first pick and an AWP, not great.
Bialy, though, he has been a rock. Right now, he doesn't have much time before the smoke dissipates. That means he needs to reposition himself. But luckily, fortunately for him, they're going to be falling back. And look at where Mihu is. Oh, the timing, though. Spot out Major, does a little bit of damage. That's information gleaned. And Space Soldiers know as well the fact that they have complete IV control. But Engine, in the meantime, pushing in, finds Neo with a Glock. Morels has got to go big here. Can he prevent the bomb from getting planted? No. They're not planting it, they're not sticking it. Morels is scoring around 2 huge kills, but Calyx going to get a quick trade. Mihu replies back now with a 2v2. Make that a 1v2 as Calyx finds Mihu. And Paz with the AWP finds Bialy, and VP, they just got ecoed. How did that fall apart, Vince?
Well, you can see the importance of that first pick into the AWP. They used it against VP, and it seems a bit needless. I can kind of understand playing ramp at that angle because you're wanting to scout to see if there's going to be early aggression. It allows you to see if players are going to push box halls, but also down ramp. The downside, though, is if you get picked, like a flash into a kill, or you usually get straight up rushed, it's going to hurt your team. And it did seem a little bit needless, but take nothing away from Space Soldiers. They made the most of a pretty poor situation from VP. Still 4 rounds behind, though, and they've been unable to really get any kind of momentum rolling. They have not won consecutive rounds yet on this T-half. That needs to change.
Indeed needs to change. And for Bialy, again, things are really not working out for VP. Now they're going to be going in for the hit. Nice Molotov from Pasha, but Paz rips his head clean off his shoulders, and should be the call for the save going out immediately, and that is exactly what VP are going to do. 4 rounds now for Space Soldiers. And VP, even if they hold on to these 3 rifles, it's pretty rough here, right? Mihu can drop a gun for Pasha, perhaps. Bialy might just have to go for a UMP or a pistol, but they need to hold on to these 3 guns. Problem is, Calyx is pushing up here. And if he times this right, he can actually find Neo. Oh.
Opens up also the plan of maybe going through Ivy if he so chooses. I mean, the AWP is the main weapon that they want to save. It's the most expensive. It has the most impact potentially. They're getting Molotov'd out. Mihu out into the open, and Paz takes him. Oh, it's gone from bad to worse. VP will not save a single weapon. Paz with a 4K continues his impressive performance on Inferno into Train, and VP's economy is completely flushed down the drain.
Yep. Space Soldiers not losing a single player as well. T-side, that's some great stuff from them. And VP, despite 3 players saving, I'm nitpicking here. I'm not sure why Neo had to look towards his teammates when he was falling back there, because they had Ivy. He got caught with his back turn. So again, just nitpicking. You know, everything looks easier in hindsight, but VP, despite having 7 rounds on board, losing the last 2 rounds, really not going to help them enough to kill the Eco. Calyx, despite getting dinked, gets the frag, and 1 by 1 VP are falling. Pasha, however, does get at least a reply. Neo, what could he possibly do? Is using that headshot angle. He does a bit of damage, not quite able to get the kill though, and yeah, that should be the round. Pasha's going to be left alone, 13 HP. He's sort of stuck in though, but Engine will not lose that deal. Space Soldiers, just 1 casualty. 5 rounds for them on the T side here. For VP, ooh, the buy comes out, but I'm not a big fan of this buy. 3 smokes, nade, couple of flashbangs, no kits. They got to play really aggressive here.
Yeah, with this kind of a lead, I think some teams may have actually dipped down into like a half buy, you know? Some Deagles, maybe a couple Kevlars, CZs, PT50s, that sort of a purchase. As you say, I mean, it has every potential to, every possibility to win, but at the same time, you're missing out on those serious firepower of the AWPs, some of the kits, some of the nades, but they've got the first kill. Mihu, he's going to get spammed up, but he's able to stay there because the smoke is down. The Molotovs can't spread to him. It would just extinguish. So Xantares decides to take matters into his own hands. I like the play. Just go super aggressive. Make sure if Mihu's still in that angle, he's a dead man. So they at least get a 1-for-1 trade early on. And this could actually hurt VP a great deal. Because of their lack of utility and firepower, they're going to be able to get picked off 1 by 1 unless they get some crossfires established, which is going to get taken off the table because of Engine's aggressive play. You can see Morels was trying desperately to get some kind of a foothold on the site. He gets picked off from behind. And now Engine goes in for his 2nd frag, leaving Bialy in connector and a 1-on-2 post plan.
At least they still don't know where he is. He hasn't really given away his position. So this is doable, but remember, they don't have a single kit. Never mind, Paz will put Bialy straight into the grave. 7-6 for Space Soldiers, and for VP, well, penultimate round. But I would like to see just some pistols coming out here. But for Space Soldiers, this is a great opportunity to go into the lead. They should definitely win this round, get to 7-all, and go into the second half with a 1-round lead on the T side. VP, ooh, this is rough here. Off the last 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds, Space Soldiers have won 5. That's a nightmare scenario for VP.
Yeah, sure is. I mean, considering at one point it was 7-2 in favor of VP, they're going to go aggressive with their pistols. Understandable if you play default with the pistols. Not necessarily going to get the best foot forward, especially against Space Soldiers. But the aggression has cost them 2 lives so far. Make it a 3rd. Pasha up on the catwalk is the last to fall, and Neo just a step behind him. 7 apiece, from 7-2 to 7-7, 5 consecutive rounds. Space Soldiers well and truly turning their fortunes around.
Indeed, they have. Final round. And VP, they at least have enough money to go for a full-fledged buy, so that's some saving grace. Question is, can they convert this? They've looked a little... Even when they go for this aggressive play, like for example, a couple of rounds prior when they pushed down Ivy and got the opening pick, Space Soldiers is so quick to bounce back, so quick to pivot around and just sneak in through this defense. And this time around, again, it looks like they're going to be going for this fast inner play. Bialy all alone. Pasha will rotate over. That op of his is going to be instrumental in at least helping out Bialy. And all 5 players gathered up together. Bialy, incendiary, he won't have time to toss it. Now he will. That's going to delay it for a few seconds, but Xantares doesn't give a damn, does he? He's going to come running in through the flames. He gets the kill. Pasha with the reply, but the bomb is going to get planted. And now it's going to be a 4v. Make that a 2v4 as Engine finds 2 quick kills.
And a post plant to boot. Neo, what have you got in store? You're going to wind back the ears, pull off a play of epic proportions. No, nearly got a 3k at the end. Now Paz can use that smoke to his advantage, spraying onto Mihu. And Space Soldiers will take the lead for the first time since the pistol. By the way, for those of you asking, the reason Morels is here is because it's now officially been announced that Mouse Sports have indeed replaced Sticko with Snacks. That has happened. So that's why Morels is playing and Snacks isn't. Snacks has joined Mouse Sports.
It's official.
Indeed it is.
And also, Nobo just got picked up by 3D Max and Arbak.
Damn, that was quick.
That was quick. Like, all right, you beat VP. All right, we're gonna sign you up. Wow, interesting things happening here. That's gonna be interesting. Snacks playing for Mouse. I mean, that changes a lot of things.
I feel like Sticko though did a pretty solid role in the team, and it always comes back to that same thing. You could have, I'm not saying Mouse Sports necessarily are 5 of the best players in the world individually. I think they are all very, very good. But if you look at FaZe, yeah, you've got 5 of the best individual players potentially. Does that mean that they gel together and make the best team? Well, not necessarily, because who's the player that's going to bow down and basically do the roles that no one else wants to? The non-spotlight roles, you know?
Absolutely, and I always felt like Sticko, for all the crap he gets, right? I think he's a very, very, very solid player in his particular role, right? Not just support player, he also has his moments. He's really solid. Meantime, hold on to that thought. It's a complete massacre on the outer bomb site. These Space Soldiers going to win it, just losing 1 player, and VP, oh, they needed it round. But then again, Vince, Space Soldiers and anti-ecos.
Yes, indeed. How many times have we seen Space Soldiers win the pistol and then completely dump all over themselves? Quite a few times.
Quite a few times.
Paz 21-9, by the way. Guy is just electric right now. These last 2 maps, he's been saving it. He's got that gas tank, and he was playing it slow to start off with. He's playing the rope-a-dope. Now he's there, and he's landing haymakers.
He's indeed. Engine, hearing a few footsteps. VP, just try and fake something towards inner, as they will be pivoting back towards the bathrooms area. They already have Pasha's made his way all the way towards Ivy. Bear in mind, this is a forced buy. They do have that armor, they have the smoke, the flashbang, and a handful of some pistols as well. CSGO pistols, very dangerous indeed. Pasha trying his very best to play distraction, as they will fall on back towards that inner bomb site where Engine is playing all by his lonesome. He does have Xantares. That M4 is quite deadly in his hands indeed. But 1 smoke and 1 flash. Can they make this work?
Oh, we've seen crazy things happen in CS, but I'm going to go ahead and say probably not. The thing is, though, that Xantares is the only player that's even close to Engine who's playing on the B site. And he doesn't have an AWP, doesn't have a scout. He's got an M4. Now, as good as his aim is, if he gets smoked out, there's not a great deal he can do. And that's going to put a lot of pressure on Engine. And that's seemingly what's about to happen. The smoke is landed towards Connector. They're going to be pushing behind this. Engine, it's up to you. UMP in hand. Very good at this kind of a range, but can he hold the fort down? Can he stop this bomb from being planted? Meanwhile, Xantares is going to go up close and personal. Can't stop the bomb plant, but so much damage is being inflicted to the terrorists. So it looks like, regardless of a bomb plant, the round will still go the way of Space Soldiers. And overall, I think they'll be relatively okay with that. It wasn't a full eco. They went all in on this by VP. And especially if Space Soldiers can keep 4 players alive, that's a good takeout.
Absolutely. And just lose the UMP, right? And Major might even just swap it out. Or I think Calyx might just swap out that to scout for the UMP. For VP, though, because even though they got the bomb down, it was a force buy. So they anyway have to go for an eco. Zantara just running up, looking to get that final kill. But yeah, it is going to be another eco for VP, but at least ensure that they will have a little bit of extra cash when they go for the eventual buy round. For the time being, though, Space Soldiers is going to be okay. Then didn't you just drop an AK for Pasha?
I actually didn't catch that.
He
Did
did.
he drop an AK for Pasha?
Yeah, and he's got just $300 remaining, and he's going to invest fully. He's going to buy a smoke as well. While everyone else are an eco, and everyone else has like, you know, an average of $2,300 or something like that. Neo has 0, which means he's only going to have $2,400 into the next round. If they don't get the bomb down, if they don't win this round, which I don't know, this is strange.
They just believe in the Papa biceps, mate. You know, they believe that he's going to come out, flex those muscles, and just wreck everybody. Got to get that raid boss in, and he's proving a point. Get flexed on, Calyx. Destroyed. There have to be more following that up, and Pash has gone in for a second. Yes, Paz will come through with his own kill, but has Pasha done enough? Has he opened and cracked open the site enough to yield around? Major with his MP7 is trying to navigate himself into a safe spot. Not going to be happening, taking damage from multiple angles. There's going to be Morels that takes him down, and Pasha, those opening 2 picks, those entry frags were everything for Virtus.pro.
Okay, all right. I am not going to ever question any questionable buy from VP ever again. That was beautiful opening for Pasha. The one tap to get the first kill towards dead end, and then a second frag. That's all he needed to do. And then complete chaos for Space Soldiers as the rest of VP started swarming that site. And around that, they had no business winning. They not only win, they keep, I think, 3 players alive. And for Space Soldiers, they have 3 M4s to work with, 2 CZs, and minimal utility. VP have... This is huge for VP. From what could have been 11-7, what should have been 11-7, it's now 10-8, and Neo has opened things up.
Solid work. Engine, though, will return the favor onto a weakened Neo, courtesy of Sontares. Calyx coming through the shadows of the smoke. 1-for-1 trade. Major close enough proximity. Bjolly doesn't even check his angle there. Just goes straight through, assuming he was safe. And that's cost him dearly, and could cost VP dearly after they finally get themselves around on the board. This would be resetting their round loss bonus, although they do have quite a bit of funds due to winning that previous round with very low investment. Morels and me, who are good to go with a buy, and so will Neo. A pass. Dispatches of Morels, courtesy of an M4 round delivered to the head first class. And now Mihu, with the arduous task of 40 seconds and 1-3, has control of the bomb. Nearly lined up for his spray, but only able to get the 1. Space Soldiers take an 11-8 lead.
Space Soldiers bouncing back despite losing a round that had no business losing. In the meantime, for VP, this is a problem, right? Even though they had 3 players survive earlier, because 2 guys died, they had to go for the full buy, and that means this buy in particular is going to be a little shaky. They have given the big green gun onto the big man, Pasha himself. Let's see what he can do. He's been top fragging for his team, and he's been instrumental, at least on the CD side. Many of the rounds they won was primarily due to him, but Calyx, the flashbang was pristine, and Paz finds 2, and within the span of a few seconds, the round's pretty much done and dusted. Calyx is still looking for more Molotov nades sailing in. Whoa, just gone wrong here. Morels does reply back. But still, okay, Morels finds 2, 1 more. Now it's all on Neo. The legend himself, 1v3, op in hand. He has a very good inkling where Zantara is, but Zantara's perfect peak timing there. Gets to frag. It's going to be 12-8 for Space Soldiers.
And now the funds are shoddy. Now we are in eco territory for Virtus.pro. This time they don't really have the funds to afford dropped AK onto Pasha. It's going to be maybe P250s, maybe a Desert Eagle, but not even that. Just 3 P250s, no nades, nothing. A bomb plant is the dream. That is the target they've set for themselves, and they're not going to beat around the bush. Mihu's charging straight through main, and he lands 2 grenades on his face. Neo caught on the ladder. will get punished, and this round is pretty much over before it's begun.
Indeed it is. Yali drops on down straight to his death. 13-8. VP have the T side has the very lackluster indeed, apart from the one round they won with Pasha getting dropped at AK-47. They have been pretty impotent, I'd say. And Paz, 28 frags for the man in what, 21 rounds? That's ridiculous from him. He hasn't even needed Xantaros to go full Super Saiyan for this. And now VP, this buy could be it. The loser is going to have to go for Nico again, and that's going to be Space Soldiers getting the map point. But Major should be careful. Gets tagged down a bit. Heavy presence towards Ivy. Pasha's going to walk on up. Major gets spotted out again. Pasha getting control of Ivy early on. That's pretty good for VP. That's going to allow them a lot of freedom to work with. But Engine, can he hold on? Neo is on the hunt here. If he gets his pick, this could be huge. But Engine, ooh, taking a bit of damage, but Incendiary is still waiting around, and Neo just walking up. He's walked on out here. Now Neo's going to be a thorn in the side of Engine. What's Neo going to do? He's going to stick around behind the smoke. This is a very chaotic round, Vince. 3 players coming in from Ivy with the bomb as well, and Space Soldiers, they have no clue what's going on.
Chaotic and somehow 0 casualties. Everyone's still alive with 50 seconds to go. Neo was having a dip in the water over on B and decided better off it, scampered away through the smoke. Plenty of damage has been inflicted across the board, but I would say that VP are coming out best in that confrontation. Now they're moving through Ivy, but they've done it so slowly that Major's able to get close enough. Mihu waiting patiently for a push, and Engine will oblige as he's pushed off his mortal coil. The spray not quite able to get to the Calyx, but Major is looking for his second. The trade's back and forth. 20 seconds though. Virtus.pro have got to start to skate towards the site, and it has to happen now. Paz drops out both Neo and potentially the bomb carrier of Pasha if he's not careful. He's only got 19 health left. 8 seconds, and it won't be happening today. 6-round lead has opened up, and VP on the brink of defeat.
This could be it, Vince. Like I said, that buy round was crucial for them to somewhat keep themselves in the game, and now 3K average on all the players. And this is a big decision. Force it or eco it. They've got to go for the safe route here. Pistols and armor, give themselves a chance to try and somewhat convert this round. At the same time, if they lose it, they will still have enough money to go for a solid buy into what could potentially be the final round of the series here. For Space Soldiers, though, they have everything to work with. M4s, AKs, AWP in the hands of Calyx this time around, not Major. What are they going to do? Slowly creeping up towards bathrooms. They have Bialy leading the way towards Brown Hall to spot our Engine's arm. They do have a couple of smokes and 3 flashbangs. Something to work with. They're going to drop one down to it's popped up, but guess who's waiting? It's going to be Paz. He's just padding his stats at this moment now. Down to 45 HP, but he's on 33 frags. Bialy finally drops him, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Certainly agree with that. Put Space Soldiers on the back foot a little bit, but ultimately it should be Space Soldiers that are victorious in not just this round, but also the map. Also this best of 3. Bialy going to be aggressing through the fire, through the flames. That's to his demise. And now Mihu, last in, slowly walking down ramp, has been smashed by Calyx. 7 match points for Space Soldiers. VP made a valiant comeback to take us to overtime in the previous map, but this would be a fair few steps further than that.
Indeed, indeed. And this is it. This is do or die. They have the guns to work with. They have everything to work with, but they need to string 7 rounds in a row here, or else it's going to be rough for VP, right? If they lose this, they're going to get out. They're going to get knocked out of the close qualifiers without winning a single map. It's going to be a tough cookie to swallow. Bialy, Major, perfect peek, perfect timing, catching Bialy, crossing on Nova. 1 down, 4 nails remaining to be nailed into what could potentially be the coffin of VP here.
Yes, indeed. A coffin of a cacophony of problems, it would seem, right now. VP looking like they're about to edge out of this best of 3. Looks like we're heading back to the upper brackets very shortly. Mihu scampering through on the Ivy side. 1 minute to play with. The poles with the player down. Need to get their feet ahead. Start to move as United force. You can see how isolated they currently are. And Pasha's gone down. There's no avenging blow. Paz with a free frag. 99 health remaining. These are the kind of issues that VP need to deal with. What is Neo able to do in this scenario? If he drops down, he's likely to just go the exact same way. Paz has been forced out. There's a spray through, but no kill again. And he dies as soon as his feet hit the floor. Morel's the new recruit, the new stand-in, is going to have to try and see what he can get done. 2 frags go his way. He's picked up 3 already in this round. On for the ace, on for the clutch, on for huge plays if he can pull this off, but it's not going to happen. His engine will put an end to Virtus.pro. They will not be taking any part in the DreamHack Masters Stockholm event. They are out, and Space Soldiers advance.
Yeah, it's a little heartbreaking, right? But honestly, like, I mean, how much could you expect of them? They just picked up Morel's, like, what, a couple of days back. It was such a big shocker for everyone. And Morel's, he did his best. He actually kind of, pulled his own weight, to be very honest. But the team overall, they just look so disjointed. And they're just now an even more, like, if it was even possible, an even more paler shadow of what they were once upon a time, right? And just got to wonder, when's the free fall going to stop for VP? When are they finally going to stop this I don't know, this free fall, right? I'm not even able to think of any words here. Space Soldiers, though, credit where it's due. Great performance from them and train. Much more better performance from them on this. I think this is the best series I've seen from them today, entirety of today, right? And right now they're going to move on to the lower brackets where I'm not sure who they're going to face off against.
I haven't a clue, actually.
Let's take a look here. Although the next game's going to be, I think, Hellraisers and Heroic, I think.
The next game we're casting is Hellraisers AGO.
AGO, yes. Well, another Polish team.
Indeed. Some would argue better currently than VP.
I really don't think it's an argument anymore, Vince.
Yep.
I mean, I think they went 3-0 in... which event was it? Very recent. Was Starladder?
I think so.
They won 3 best of 3s. Yeah, they won 3 best of 3s in a row. I think they are definitely the best Polish team right now.
I actually think this could be a pretty close game. I mean, Hellraisers, I rate Hellraisers pretty highly, but AGO have definitely been a team that have been on the brink now of breaking out, I think, and really grabbing a lot more attention and grabbing a lot more of the headlines. They're a team that I feel they were always in the shadow, like these players in particular, because they haven't always been in AGO, of course. These players and some of the other ones like Mihu, like Morel's even, before obviously they were alongside VP, always in the shadow of VP. And now that VP have dipped down, it's allowing more Polish teams and players to actually show what they're capable of. So it's kind of like a bittersweet thing with Virtus.pro, actually, for that reason.
Absolutely. It's like the end of an era, but at the same time, kind of a rebirth of the scene of Poland, at least, right? And it's going to be interesting playstyle as well. HR are known, Angel's playstyle is going to be aggressive, it's going to be in your face, it's going to be very exciting to watch. At the same time, they are susceptible to kind of capitulating when things don't go their way, kind of being a little, emotional, like Woxic, for example, incredible player, but at the same time an emotional player. Well, AGO, through thick or thin, it doesn't matter who they face off against, they've always shown this, very solid fundamentals, right? It's going to be a clash of playstyles, I kind of feel. And I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I think this could actually be the game of the day, to be honest. But before we do head away for a break and then rejoin you with that game, as you can see on your screen right now, we have the DreamHack Masters Stockholm 2018 coming up on the September 1st and 2nd. That is in the stadium. I'm pretty sure as the other majors, the other Masters have gone. They have a few days beforehand for the group stages and such. But the 1st and 2nd, tickets are available. They're selling pretty quick, so I suggest if you want to get yourself across to Sweden and Stockholm to watch this event, that you get yourself on very shortly, very quick, and get them tickets bought. DreamHack.com/masters to find out all the information you need. Anyway, we're going to cut to a break, guys, and rejoin us will be live for Hellraisers versus AGO in another best of 3. Stay tuned.
Back to the ankle. Yeah, this should be impossible. With that's a a nice flick though. And he's got to find Hobbit off to the left. Oh! What is that flick from Draken?
Golden with a Molotov down will try and find them up a bit of time, get across and Snipe Righteous has bit the dust. Booms is going to come out with another one and another. He's been a beast so far this event.
Kerrigan's already tagged. So too is Olaf. They're going to have to hit a perfect shot. They can't do it. Taco goes back. Guardian's got to make up for it. He's tapping him, but he can't find it. Fallen's on the defuse. Fallen is on the defuse. The lineup, he's still there. It's done. He doesn't have the ammo. He doesn't have the ammo. He's holding it. Guardian!
What if there was a DreamHack PC? What if we told you there is? This is the DreamHack PC, built with the best components on the market, optimized for a flawless esports experience. Just add games,